Hello and welcome back everyone, we Weeb Online, and today I'm gonna continue the story What If Naruto Had the God Rizz Part 2. If you enjoy this video, please give it a big thumbs up, and to watch more videos like this, subscribe to my channel and turn that bell notification on so you never miss an upload. Now wasting no more time, let's begin.
The Mindscape of Naruto is seen sporting black slacks with foxes on them and a white t-shirt. He was in the wilderness when he summoned the thoughts of Kasumi, who had not spoken to him in days. He keeps walking till he finds a cabin in a clearing beside a lake. Where is she? You would think it would be easy to see a giant fox in the forest. Maybe she is in her human form and is in that little house she made. He approaches the door and knocks, saying, I will admit she knows how to live in style. Hello Kasumi-chan. I've come to see why you don't want to talk to me. He knocks again after not receiving a response. Still no response to the question, Kasumi-chan, why won't you answer? Knowing why she doesn't want to talk to him, he puts his head down and says, she hasn't been talking to me since I had sex with Enko and Tsunami-chan. He continues to get no response from the person on the other side of the door. Kasumi-chan, I'm sorry, I understand why you don't want to talk to me now. It's because I slept with those two. Do you think that I would just leave you in here and never talk to you again? He can hear movement in the room as he says, I wasn't just playing with your feelings, I truly care about you. We have become really close over these 2 months, and so close I can even say that I have feelings for you. He simply smiles at that. He hears someone approaching the door and says, I need you in my life, I want you there for my new family, the family that I want you to be a part of. He laughs and hears a tail coming from the other side of the door. I also miss your really soft tails. They make really good pillows. He starts to say something further, but is interrupted when the door opens and a sobbing Kasumi appears. She smacks him with one of her 9 tails and sends him flying into the jungle after saying, Baka is making me cry. With a smile on her face, she chases him. He is locked in a tree and exclaims in agony, I guess I can let you have that hit for making you cry. She takes him from the tree and gives him a comforting embrace, to which he responds, I apologize, Naruto-kun. I just assumed you forgot about me and would leave me alone again. Her toes curl as he draws back, takes her chin, and plants a kiss on her. He smirks at Kasumi's flushed face and says, I hope that can make up for it. She glances away, but he pulls her chin to him once again and gives her a gentle kiss. Baka D, don't do that again. She passed out with a silly smile on her face after saying, I just couldn't help myself, you are so amazingly beautiful, I just had to let you know by showing my love to you, my foxy goddess. He then returns her to her home and lets the thoughts wander, saying, I've missed her. Naruto's quarters at the Uzumaki compound. When Naruto opens his eyes, he sees Kuranai lying on his chest, grinning broadly, and he can't help but laugh at her appearance. He then gives her a little rub on top, causing her to murmur something while she sleeps. He kisses her head, causing her to awaken and grin at him. Even in her sleep she looks beautiful. Good morning, Naruto-kun. She then kisses him, stands up, and stretches, putting on a strong performance for Naruto. She smirks when she notices this. She gives him a seductive grin and says, you can look, but you can't touch. Now you're teasing me, Kuranai-chan, Naruto says, grabbing her and placing her beneath him. He kisses her neck and adds, I might have to claim you as mine right now. She tries to stop him by saying, Naruto-kun, I said no touching. A good morning it is. He helps her up, grinning at the unkempt and flushed Kuranai. Come on, we have to go wake everyone up, he says. As they exit the room, Naruto tries to wake Rukia, but he finds her snuggled up to a rabbit plush toy he got her. Rukia-chan, it's time for breakfast, so wake up. She merely mumbles and rolls over. She said, half awake, Papa, leave me alone. I'm a big girl, I can get up myself. With a sharp carrot in her palm, she bounded up and said, okay, since you don't want breakfast, I'll just give it to Inari. He laughs aloud and imagines Kasumi as she leaves in her bunny onesie, saying, never. Why don't you go outside and reveal yourself to everyone, Kasumi-chan? With some concern, she asks, are you sure about that, Naruto-kun? He waves his hand, saying, it will be fine, I am going to tell everyone about who my father is anyway, so might as well tell them about you as well. She suddenly emerges in a burst of smoke in her human form, wearing a black long-sleeve shirt and orange leggings that match Naruto, saying, okay Naruto-kun, these people are trustworthy enough to know. He concludes with a chuckle, so you want to copy my look, huh? I still rock it better than you. She crossed her arms and said, shut it, this was the first thing that came to mind. Let's just go see everyone. I want to hold my little Rukia-chan again. Everyone finds a seat at the kitchen table and begins eating breakfast as they arrive. Before Rukia calls attention to the fox lady, everyone is enjoying themselves and isn't even noticing her. Rukia looked at her bewilderedly and murmured, Papa, who is this with the fox ears and tails? Then, as if nothing were happening, everyone looks at the woman sipping orange juice. She smiles back at Anko, who adds, "Oh hello Kasumi-chan, I haven't seen you in a while." He addresses the wide-eyed crowd, saying, "Everyone, I have some important news to share. This is Kasumi-chan the nine-tailed fox and my father is the fourth Hokage." While those who are ninjas react differently, Rukia, Inari, Tsunami, and Anko just wave at her. Haku, Kuranai, and even Renmara gaze at her with a hint of horror. Kuranai answered somewhat shakily, "T the same one that attacked the village 13 years ago." Kasumi remarked, anticipating that response, "Yup, that's me." He appears behind her, pets her fox ears, causing her to purr, before she snaps out of it and hits him with her tail. "Look, I know you were scared, but relax. That night she was under genjutsu that made her react like that. She is just misunderstood, and plus if she was that big bad fox would she do this?" He rubs his stomach and says, "Seems harmless, just a bruise and a broken rib maybe." Haku walks over to Naruto-kun and says, "I have some cream, just let me put it on and it will be better." He then removes his shirt, revealing all the women, making them blush. "Okay Haku-chan." He smirks at the flushed Haku and says, "Be sure to rub it in real good." She rubs it in to feel his abs, making the other girls envious. "Oh okay Naruto-kun." A little annoyed by his manner of making fun of others, Kasumi remarked, "Did you forget I can heal you Naruto-kun?" This makes everyone chuckle, but then Enko recalls what else he said. She confronted him, asking, "Did you say your dad was the fourth Hokage?" "Yes, and if I see him I'd give him a dropkick to the face for what he did." Pumcas putting the village before his son, he could have just teleported Kasumi-chan out of the village and leave her be, but no, the village needs tailed beast. "Well, I can see why you would think that. Do you hate him?" replied Kuranai. He was depressed at the memory of his father and said, "I don't know right now. I am happy and upset at the same time." Haku pulls him into a cozy embrace and says, "Well, I am sure he didn't want to do it Naruto-kun. I mean, he died so you could live, so he must have loved you. Yay, but I need you guys to keep this a secret for me right now. I am not supposed to know until the Chunin exams." He was staring at everyone. "Don't worry, Papa. Your secret is safe with me," exclaims Rukia, who is standing on an ice platform. Naruto questioned, "Rukia-chan, how are you so good at your ice release already?" as he was astounded by her ease of control. Hakune-chan says something about having the purest form of ice release and being really in tune with the spiritual aspect of chakra. "Yes, that's right, she can even control my ice sometimes if she focused hard enough. I suspect she can be really good at genjutsu and the spiritual arts of the ninja life." When Kuranai hears this, she is astounded by the girl's genjutsu skills. With pride in her voice, she continues, "I might be able to help you with your genjutsu Rukia-chan. I am the genjutsu specialist of the village." Anko rolls her eyes. He then returns to his room to change before saying, "Okay guys, I am going out and I will be back some time later. Make sure to lock the gate when you leave." Like his father, he is seen wearing an open coat, except his is black with blue flames at the bottom. The storm kanji was printed over his seal on a plain black t-shirt. Black ninja sandals and black Enbu trousers. Before leaving, he kisses each person on the head and says, "See you guys." Konoha's streets. Naruto is heading to a store that he heard from Anko was a good place to get weapons and things connected to ninjas. Additionally, Kuranai had assured him that it was a good area, so he made the decision to visit and see for himself. As he walks, he spots a shop called Golden Leaf. "Nice name, don't mind if I do." He enters the store and looks at the clothing and weaponry scattered inside. A voice behind the desk said, "Hello, welcome to the Golden Leaf." Naruto was astounded by what he saw when he peered over there. A girl roughly his age, she had a petite frame, large brown eyes, and brown hair with two buns on top that gave her a panda-like appearance. As she approached the wide-eyed girl, the blonde exclaimed, "P Panda-chan." The girl with the brown hair who looked like a panda said, "W Whiskers-kun. Tenten, it is you." Naruto gave her a strong hug, which she gladly accepted. "What happened to you? I was looking for you ever since you got adopted." Now that her Oni-chan had returned, Tenten was happier than ever. "I was also looking for you, but then I got put on a team and we were not able to talk much in the academy." Since they were in the orphanage, Naruto and Tenten have been friends, and he would always shield her from bullies who would try to make fun of her for hanging out with him. Nevertheless, they remained close friends and made a commitment to become ninjas together. What team are you on, Oni-chan? I can see your headband, but I have not heard about you yet. Didn't you say when you became a ninja you were gonna save a whole country and then be Hokage? She made him laugh. A giggle cut through his proud statement. Haha, just so you know, I just returned from a mission to help save Team 7 who were stuck in Wave Country, and for your information, I did save a country. They even named the bridge after me. Ino and the rest of her squad, along with their teacher Asuma, said, yeah, I bet it was all thanks to Sasuke-kun and all of his Uchiha power. He told her and her group, I actually did. You can go and ask Kakashi. Asuma took a drag from his cancer stick and remarked, yes, Kakashi was talking about how he split the sky with his sword. Just listen to yourself, cutting the sky, yay right, if Naruto did that I will be his slave for the rest of my life. She giggles. I swear on my ninja headband. Because of how casually she said what she did, Naruto was a little uneasy. Ino-chan, I don't think that is a good idea. Shikamaru looked at her with wide eyes and remarked, yay, Ino, don't say stuff like that so free, you could really be his slave. Shika, you are not buying this, are you? He may have had that really cool entrance, but saving a country, she chuckled again. He shook her hand and smiled, making her uneasy. You know what deal? If you are wrong, prepare to be calling me Naruto-sama in a cute maid outfit. As Naruto captures Kakashi and forces him to confess to Ino that he split the sky with a sword swipe, the group chases him. Then, to the wide-eyed Team 10 and Tenten who longed to meet up with her Oni-chan one more, Kakashi reenacts the battle. Ino then passes out from shock at what her life has just become. So I have to be a slave to end Naruto. The others were shocked by what had just transpired. Together with her father, who needed to locate another clan heir, they then head to the Hokage to inform him and have her complete the paperwork. With tears in her eyes, Ino remarked, I can still be a ninja, right, Hokage-sama? All he can do is sigh at her. It is up to Naruto if you can still be a ninja now. If he says yes you can, but can never be your clan heir again. She looks down and turns to face Naruto, who is as astounded by what is happening. Ino grabs his arms and asks, and Naruto, you will still let me be a ninja, right? She gives him a hug and expresses gratitude as he adds, yes Ino-chan, I will not take your dream away from you. In an ashamed tone, she says, thank you and Naruto-sama. The Hokage draws their attention once more by saying, well, that's not all, you still have to get a slave seal to show who you belong to. A slave seal? Inoichi passes out. As if it were little, the Hokage remarked, yes, it won't hurt, but it will just be like a tattoo. He smiles at the flushed blonde and asks, well Ino-chan, where would you like it, how about on your butt? Inoichi then got up and attempted to strangle Naruto. He tries to capture him again, saying, not on my little girl. In an attempt to calm her overly protective father, Ino says, Daddy, it's okay, it has to happen, I am fine with this, I will still be able to come see you, and other things like that. Yes, she is correct. I won't turn her into a naive blonde who lacks self-awareness. Floating in the air, Naruto remarks. I will make her a great ninja worthy of serving the new Uzumaki clan. And who knows, she might get more maids and become the head mistress. He laughs. He then takes her up in a bridal-style carry, making her blush, and flies to his house. Ino-chan, come on, I won't mistreat you or anything like that, but I will expect you to act like a maid and all that other stuff. Come on, I will put the seal on you when we get to your new home. Inoichi nods in agreement as the elderly Hokage says, you know, this might be good for her. Naruto is a real ninja and he might turn her into something you can be proud of. A little afraid of my wife's reaction, he continues, well, I am going to go tell her the good news. Compound Uzumaki Ino has been Naruto's slave for a week, and it would be an understatement to say that she was taken aback. In reality, she was enjoying herself and training with Sakura and Tenten, whom Naruto had gone to retrieve from their home. When she wasn't training, Naruto made her wear a traditional maid costume and assigned her household chores. Although he didn't push himself on her as she had feared, he did follow through on his promise to clean him and bring her into their private hot spring. She was both happy and embarrassed to be near her lord. She was now fighting Sakura to a draw on top of the water for 4 hours straight after her training produced excellent results with the other girls, but they were still unable to defeat Tenten, who was a serious kunoichi from the beginning. Since she and Tenten were both deficient, Sakura had adapted to being a medical ninja while they worked on developing their jutsu further. Like a fish swimming in water, she advanced it. She was improving her strength training like Tsunade and was able to heal minor wounds and bring back little insects. Tenten, who was already proficient with swords but couldn't compete with Naruto, was doing incredibly well after Naruto personally trained her in his moonlight sword style. She became a true weapons master after he forced her to practice a variety of weapons to determine which one was best for her, but she still needed to improve her jutsu. She was proficient with all types of swords, but she excelled at using a katana. He found that she had a great affinity for both wind and lighting. Knowing this, he helped her practice her ailments, which now allowed her to break a leaf and use her chakra alone to switch on a light bulb using her lighting and wind affinities. By forcing Ino to discover her chakra natures, fire and water, he did the same to her. Since he couldn't assist her with fire, he let Enko handle it while he worked on her propensity for water. Ino used her fire chakra to heat up a bucket of water. She was as good as Tenten at lighting a light bulb. The three females are now engaged in a full-on fight in the rear of Naruto's compound, while the other residents of the home watch from the sidelines. You can see Rukia, Inari, and Renmara supporting Naruto. While watching her daughter get thrashed in this spar, Mebuki is nervously drinking some water and still supporting her. Tsunami, Enko, Kuranai, Kasumi, and Haku are all dressed as medics and prepared to rush in and rescue a life. When Sakura was struck in the back by an invisible shadow clone of Naruto, she was launched into the air. Ino and Naruto were engaged in a taijutsu duel, and things were not going well. She attempted to avoid other attacks but was unable to keep up in time and was launched from a dynamic entry after having to duck a straight from Naruto. Pulling out his moonlight sword and assuming a straight stance opposite Tenten, who was anxious about her and her comrades being easily defeated, Naruto remarked, and then there was one. With a foxy smile, he asks, "Do you think you can take me on, Panda-chan?" Tenten, who is a little uneasy at Naruto's commanding presence, tries to gather her courage. "I am ready and will take you down no matter what." Still grinning at her, he asked, "Oh, does this panda have hidden fangs?" She screams, "Stop calling me a panda," before charging at Naruto, who grins even more. With the words, "Let's dance," he then charged her at breakneck speed, slamming swords against a struggling Tenten. He leapt, used her body as a springboard, and flipped her off, throwing her a kick to the face as she attempted to sweep his legs. Then she sees an owl approaching her when she looks up. Water-style seeking owl. He yells as a lion-sized owl slams at her, sending her to the ground. However, Naruto was approaching with his sword, so she had to swiftly roll out of the way. She stands up again and uses hand signals to say, "Wind-style wind dragon." The dragon roars and approaches Naruto, displaying its razor-sharp claws. All Naruto does is smile and do something crazier. As he approaches the wide-eyed Tenten, he picks up a bow staff from the ground, places it in front of him, leaps into the dragon's throat, and chops it up. She gathers herself and performs one of the techniques she has mastered. She says, "Moonlight swordsmanship subtle slide," as she swings her blade diagonally downward. Only to be taken aback when Naruto uses his own move to counter. He raises his moonlight blade in the air, calling it to him while traveling to Tenten. Moonlight swordsmanship mountain split. He lowers his arms and delivers a strong downward slash that goes straight through Tenten's assault, throwing her back and leaving a gash on her midriff that ruins her white training gi that Naruto allowed girls to use. He walked to the girl who was down and said, "Correct your posture and tighten your core. You need more power." Given how intense his physical training is, Tenten blushes when he hears the words, "Don't worry, that just means you need more physical training." She gestured to all of the girls who were unconscious on the ground and said, "Oh okay Ni-chan. But can you help us out first? You kind of almost killed us." She blushed as he picked her up in a bridal-style carry and said, "Ha ha ha, don't worry, I held back. That last attack can split mountains and even the Hokage monument, so count yourself lucky." She pouts at him for treating her this way and adds, "Oni-chan, I can walk by myself." They all rush to the sideline as he cries, "Oh Panda-chan, just let me handle this. Medics, we need some help." Looking at the deep cut on her tummy, Enko whispered, "Come on Ten-chan, stay with us, you can get through this." Mebuki shakes her daughter awake and says, "Sakura-chan, wake up baby, don't leave your mother alone with your father." She arched an eyebrow at her mother and said, "Mom, you act like I'm dying, and what's so wrong with Dad?" "Well, you see, your dad is kind of..." Sakura looked at her mother and asked, "Kind of what, Mom?" "A pussy," Naruto remarked as he assisted Ino, Haku, and Kasumi. "Yes, that it your dad is a..." "Hey wait, don't say that, Naruto-kun." The blonde and the others just laughed at her. Naruto looks at Sakura being healed by Kuranai, who is also listening in on the conversation, and says, "Sakura, your dad was not a good parent to you. You said he was barely home, always doing some work, which left your mother having to raise you by herself most of the time, leaving you without a stable male in your life." He winks at Mebuki, who flushes at his words. "That's why I have taken it upon myself to become that stable male figure in your life, and who knows, instead of Oni-chan it can be 2-chan. When Sakura notices this, she uses chakra to increase the force of her blows and hits Naruto in the stomach, sending him splashing into the lake. Everyone laughs as she says, "Don't go flirting with my mom, pervert," until she needs to avoid a water dragon. As he goes through some hand signals, water, wind, and lighting dragons appear behind him, causing Sakura, Ino, and Tenten to flee in terror. "So it seems you still want to train. Okay, I have some more physical training. To run away from the dragons," he says. Ino sobbed anime tears as she cried, "Look what you did, forehead, Naruto-sama is gonna kill us." Tenten said as she fled, "Just shut up and run." Every time another dragon was destroyed, the girls could be seen fleeing from the dragons that appeared all over the settlement. Naruto enters, removes his white training gi, and puts on an orange kimono with a crimson Uzumaki swirl in the center of his back. "Now that they are busy, let me go through some of these Uzumaki scrolls." He waves everyone off as he heads to his chamber, saying, "See you guys in a little bit. I have some scrolls to read." Naruto will now spend some time in his room reading some of the scrolls that were handed to him. He grabs his mother's letter and reads it, saying, "So let's see what my mom has to say. Hello son. This is Kushina Uzumaki, your mother. I just wanted to say that I love you first and that I don't want to become a Jinchuriki like I was. I know that if it weren't for your father Minato, I would still be an outcast being picked on. However, this isn't about how difficult my life was. It's about telling you about our clan because the village will probably forget about us and treat us like the Uchiha. Our clan was great at Kenjutsu and sealing, and we also had our gorgeous red hair. I've included our summoning contract at the bottom of the page. Alright, the Kyuubi is returning to the village. Make sure you abstain from alcohol, find a nice girl you can love, and they will support you in life. Above all, remember that I love you, Naruto." When Naruto read his mother's words to him, he started crying. "She loves me, and I love her too. All I want is to meet her and prove to her my strength. Would I make her proud?" He notices a large summoning contract with what appear to be lightning and thunderclouds on it as he reaches for the seal at the bottom. He can see, wiping away his tears, that it is a summoning contract. What animal is this? It has to do with lighting. He takes it and unfolds it to discover that only his mother signed the contract, cutting his thumb to sign his name in blood. He takes some of the other scrolls, which contain a number of jutsu for all the elements, but something else catches his attention. Is this the second Hokage's flying Raijin? He can only grin at having just learned his favorite Hokage's move. Man, the Chunin exams are not going to be ready for this. This indicates that he may have gotten assistance from the Uzumaki family with the seal during his time. Let's go sign this contract first, though. As he steps back outside, he realizes that, depending on the animal, his might not be large enough. Let's go to a better place for this. Biting his thumb, he runs through hand motions and slams them on the ground, causing a cloud of smoke to form. I don't want to mess up my backyard. He takes to the air and flies to the outside of the village and an empty training ground. Okay, now let's see what kind of animal we got here. What the devil? I was in the middle of something important, a female-sounding voice said from within the smoke. So you summoned me, human, said Naruto, as a giant bird with 3 wings on each side and a body that resembled lightning. A body composed of gray feathers with giant claws and a long neck with a yellow beak, and 3 tails behind her emerged from the smoke. You are amazing and fierce. What sort of animal are you? I can feel your power. The bird is a little startled by Naruto's flight as he says, fly up to get beak with head. Human, get out of my face. A flash of lightning struck him as the bird spoke. Ow, that wounded you, huge bird, but you will get a fight with lightning if that's what you want. With lightning in his hands, he struck the bird as he spoke. Palm lighting. With his hands aimed at the unprepared bird, Naruto yells, shocking it and slightly frying its feathers. The Thunderbird brushes it off and gets back on course. Wow, that actually hurt, unlike others who have hit me with lighting. He must have a strong affinity. Naruto smiles at the bird that was watching him like a predator. How do you like that, ya stupid bird? He asks. So, do you want to fight? Okay, think of this as a test to see if you can summon us. After saying, bring it on, bird brain, Naruto takes off, and lightning strikes the bird's location. However, The bird swiftly takes off and launches one at Naruto because it is swift for its size. People may see a huge bird, storm clouds over a section of the village, and a blast moving back and forth over the entire community. The Hokage examines it with the Anbu and his crystal ball. On the roof of their tower, the Hokage and his group can be seen observing the combat in awe of the boy's skill with lighting. When we return to the battle between the human and the bird, we see Naruto wearing only his kimono bottoms because the bird had burned off the top, and his hair had white streaks in it. The bird also appeared to be in pretty bad shape, with some feathers gone and a broken wing from one of Naruto's punches. As he charges the bird, Naruto yells, "Ha ha ha, I can still keep going, birdie." Lighting surrounds his body in an attempt to deflect some of the bird's shots. After a lengthy and enjoyable battle, the gray bird was grinning. The bird charges a tremendous amount of chakra, causing clouds to form around it and start circling it. Indeed you can, human, but let's see if you can handle my strongest attack. Thunder roars, and sparks fly out of the bird. Thunderbird-style lighting beast. A huge lightning bird emerges from the thunderstorm. Everyone on the ground was terrified for Naruto's life and was wide-eyed. Going through hand signals and dangerously increasing his chakra, causing lightning to leap off his body in the air to become heavy with chakra. This one is for you, Kasumi-chan. He yells. Storm-style Kyuubi Wraith. And a gigantic nine-tailed fox appears behind the flying Naruto, who is sighing from the 3-hour battle and the enormous amount of chakra that was used. With Naruto's roars and the Thunderbird's sound in the backdrop, the jutsu charge forward toward one another on an unspoken cue, letting out their own battle cries as they do so. A tremendous amount of force suddenly shoots through Naruto, causing his hair to turn entirely white. He shakes it off and concentrates more chakra into his jutsu. She also lets out a bird call that was loud enough to be heard by everyone below them. Holy shit, he is overpowering me, and why did he just get stronger and is his hair now white? Well, whatever, he definitely passed, but I won't go down without a fight. Everyone who was watching was blinded and uneasy when the jutsu made a huge explosion and flashed a dazzling light across the sky. Everyone rushes to their area of impact as the two plummet to the ground from the heavens. The bird creates a tremendous shockwave as it falls, tearing away the trees and the already demolished training ground, and Naruto's body creates a crater when he impacts. When they arrive, everyone is interested in what will happen next. With his hair turning back to blonde and blood streaming down his face, Naruto mumbles and crawls out to stand. He continues to smile with blood on his teeth as he addresses the bird, disregarding everyone else, saying, I am pretty sure I have a lot of broken bones and my chakra is as low as it ever has been. He yells to the bird, fluttering its feathers, you still have more, don't you, bird brain? The bird stands up again to give its name. Shut up, you stupid human, I am tired, you win, I give you can sign our contract. My name is Heiro, the boss of the Thunderbirds with power only matched by a Biju. Consider yourself lucky, only Kushina was the last to summon us, and considering how much you look like her, I guess you are her son. Congratulations, Naruto Uzumaki. Naruto simply responds with a foxy smile and a laugh. The concluding line, that's right, I am the son of my hot mother and I am also Naruto Uzumaki, the storm of Konoha, is spoken aloud, causing all of the Leaf Ninja to applaud and offer him respectful looks. Even the Hokage and his gang must yield to him. Her wicked Biju interrupted Yugito as she was thinking, all that power, but still he hasn't used Kyuubi's chakra. Kitten is an alpha male at its highest. If I was you, I would go and mate with him immediately, and if you don't go after him, I will take over your body and do it for you. Matabi speaks in the head of her host. She blushed and shook her head, saying, Matabi, I barely know him, why would I go and have sex with him? Though he is cute, strong, and has an amazing body, no, don't think like that. You can get to know him and you see what he just did. Like, that is not something everyone has. He is even stronger than me and you, so I don't know why you haven't gone after him. The Hellcat replies to her host. Yugito can only shake her head, blushing. Maybe you are right, Matabi-chan, but it will take some time. Killer B is conversing with his inner devil in a different way. Damn, that fox really has claws to law down. He even beat Big Bird and got a contract. B was rapping. B, that boy is really powerful and he still has not used any powers from the Kyuubi yet. I just know when he gets older no one will stand with him. You should try to get an alliance with him. Man, I hear ya, no need to threaten, he play with the bull and he gets stung like a bee. But all of this is being ignored by Naruto, who is thinking about the situation in his own way. What was that power that turned my hair white and gave me such power? It was amazing. It wasn't Kasumi-chan power, so what was it? Oh well, it will have to wait until I wake up. Then, to everyone's surprise, he faints while standing. The Hokage tells him to walk to the hospital so that he can receive treatment, saying, "Naruto-kun, even when you are down and out you still stand on your own 2 feet. Your parents would be proud." Compound Uzumaki Ino's voice could be heard at the doorway. "Naruto-sama, it's time to wake up. Your bath is ready." She has thrown herself fully into the role of Naruto's housemaid during the past month, and if she were being completely honest with herself, she truly enjoyed it. She was able to take care of him, cook for him, and most importantly, he was training her. She was no longer a fangirl and he treated her well. Mumbling between the blankets, Naruto said, "Ino-chan, 5 more minutes please." With a hint of childishness, Ino addressed her master. "You know we have the Chunin exams tomorrow and you said you would take us to get new clothes and weapons for the exam." He winked at her as he answered, "Okay, I suppose I can do that. You do deserve a reward for all your hard work, or would you like something else?" Naruto-sama, don't say such things, it is improper so early in the morning. Now hurry, your water will get cold." She blushed after hearing what he had to say and quickly left before he could say anything more. "Okay Haku-chan, you can come out now." With a flushed face from what she was doing, Haku peeks out from under the covers. She looks away slightly and blushes as she asks, "Naruto-kun, why did you push my head under the covers?" He took hold of her and drew her into a kiss. Haku nodes are aware of Ino's reputation as a gossip queen and say, "Well, you know how Ino can be when seeing things like this. She wants to tease and tell the whole village." He grinned at her and said, "And if what I was feeling between my legs you did not seem to mind." The women, who are all Naruto's girlfriends and potential future spouses of the Uzumaki, have become closer and more intimate over the course of the month. She gives him a brief kiss and says, "Shut up Naruto-kun. Now go, your bath is ready, maybe we will all come join you." Haku left the room, swaying slightly at the hips. Haha, it seems Anko and Kasumi are rubbing off on everyone. With their flirty ways, I just hope Rukia does not become like them. I don't want to have to kill some boy trying to get his hands on my daughter. However, that makes him chuckle once again. Who am I kidding? My baby can handle herself with those ice powers and that new sword of hers. He gets out of bed, enters the compound's hallways, and heads to the bathroom to take a bath that is ready for him. Renmara, Rukia, and Inari were walking to the kitchen as he went. In addition to him and his girls, the children had grown to be like siblings. They even assisted Renmara in regaining his health, which allowed him to exercise alongside everyone. As he entered the bathroom, he saw that all of the girls were in the bathtub, including Kasumi, who was soaking her tail because she had to leave the seal due to her restricted access. As Kuranai sat next to him in the enormous spa that resembled an indoor hot spring, she inquired, "So Naruto-kun, what will you be getting the girls today?" Tsunami was afloat on Kasumi's tail. Ten-chan, Sakura-chan, and Ino-chan looked very happy to see what you would get them considering how much progress they have made. Anko commented while she was in the bathtub. He then considers how much stronger the girls have become as a result of their work, saying, "Yes, you are right, they have made amazing progress, more than I thought possible." With an extending bow staff and a seal on her wrist, Ino had transformed from a fangirl to a terrifying maid who was lethal. Additionally, she knew enough medical jutsu to repair any immediate harm someone would sustain. Only Sakura's close-range fighting and tanky, along with the enormous amount of damage she could inflict, could defeat her, who was an adept at medium to close-range combat. She easily defeated Shikamaru and Choji, forcing Asuma to exert more effort to defeat her, but he was never able to get away unscathed. Tenten was also quite good at the moonlight sword style. She could do the first 10 dances flawlessly in a few moves without using her blade. She had also increased the number of weapons in her armory, and she can now claim to have mastered all of them in addition to several jutsu for her affinity for wind and lightning without the need for hand signals, which he forced them to practice. Although it made her a little upset, she overcame it and continued to practice. Her sword skill was something serious. She even defeated the Anbu and other ninja in the village who could wield swords but were unable to defeat Yugo or Naruto. Since Sakura had started from nothing and had grown into a fearsome kunoichi, a nickname the community would frequently use to refer to her as a little Tsunade, she had advanced the most, albeit she was afraid of being admitted to the hospital. Although she couldn't match Tsunade's degree of strength, she had perfected the technique and could still run through steel doors and create craters with her fist alone. She attempted, but was unable, to learn the seal that Tsunade wears on her forehead. In contrast to Tsunade, she practiced full contact sparring, which used every part of the body as a weapon, and her fighting style was known as Byakuren Kaiken, which they discovered in the library. Because he and everyone else wore gravity seals, which increased bodily endurance, Naruto was frequently able to withstand direct hits and give some of his own back, even though this frequently left him with fractured bones. That does not imply that he neglected his own training. Rather, it appears that he merely received further instruction as a result of the many missions he and Anko would do. He found that the transformation he underwent during his battle with Heiro was inherited, and he named it Godspeed. In this form, his body is enhanced, allowing him to move faster than light, which frequently caused him to crash into buildings because he was still unable to fully control the power. His jutsu are all enhanced when in the form, and he can easily control his bloodline and perform water, wind, and lighting jutsu without requiring hand signals, which strengthens his storm release. In order to allow Kasumi to remain outside for as long as she desired, he even attempted to break the seal, which resulted in an intriguing encounter with his father. Rewind. Kasumi-chan, I am going to try and take this seal off the rock, and maybe you can stay out longer and I can use more of your power because now all I can do is 4 tails, but you said I need some ki and face my darker self, whatever that means. As Kasumi sits on a chair and watches Naruto go to the rock where the seal is, she explains, your darker half is made up of all your negative emotions and hate. He will most likely appear when you try to use my power and have to face all of my hate and yours. When he peels the corner off his hand, someone he never thought to see catches it, making Kasumi very hot in her chair. Well, I wish he would just come on out and make things easier for both of us. But whatever, let's just get that stupid seal off now. Until he realized where he was, the man responded calmly, hey, no need to do that. Hey, where is the Kyuubi and why are we in a forest? With startled eyes, Naruto said, Dad, what the hell are you doing in my damn head? Minato smiled and said, hello there son, only to be taken aback when his son kicks him in the face. Damn, I know I had my guard down but I still did not see him move. Has he really gotten this strong? Well, I should not be surprised, I was watching after all. Minato stood back up and asked, I guess I deserve that for what I did, but are you done now? Yes I am, but I want to punch your face in some more, but I will let it go if you tell me how to do your flying Raijin. I used to notes of Tobirama but yours is still better, he unwillingly replied. Minato merely grinned upon hearing it. He added, I'm sorry I didn't hear that, can you say it again? It sounded like you said I was the best Hokage. Minato grinned, appreciating that his son preferred the second to him. In an attempt to make fun of his father, Naruto received a tick mark, and his face blushed slightly at what he was going to say. I said you are the best Hokage and I would like your notes on flying Raijin. What Kasumi was witnessing was unbelievable. For the first time since he was practicing with Anko for the team placements, Naruto was blushing and stuttering. Oh my god, wait until I tell everyone about this. And why are they ignoring me? I am the Kyuubi. Minato could only chuckle at his son's behavior since he could see how arrogant he was and had to make fun of him. Wow, the powerful storm of Konoha asking his dear dad for a jutsu and saying how cool he is. As the wind increased and the water became more hostile, sparks flew from Naruto's body and his face flushed red with rage and shame. Running into her house and hiding out, Kasumi exclaimed, oh, that yellow bastard is in trouble now. Minato could only swallow and begin to perspire when she observed everything that was happening. Minato took out several of his kunai and positioned his special kunai in front of him, saying, maybe I bit off more than I could chew, he will probably want to fight me and with that speed of his he will be able to keep up with me, but his speed is not instant, mine is. Minato was a little disturbed by Naruto's snarling smile when he saw the picture of a Thunderbird behind him. Naruto switches into his unfinished Godspeed mode, causing his hair to grow white and spike out, and says, okay dad, why don't we have some father and son bonding time? He then simply stood up without revealing his combat style, which helped him stay unexpected. From her window, Kasumi and the other foxes she had created in her Mindscape to keep her company watched from inside her home. The foxes all give her a nod and turn back to face the two. Are you guys ready? This fight will most likely be the greatest fight we see. With their respective war faces on, Naruto and Minato were simply observing one another. Minato is staring at Naruto calmly, with his cloak and hair blowing in all directions and revealing nothing. While the lightning leaping off Naruto's blue battle gear, which he chose to wear for the upcoming furious battle, makes his eyes appear to glow a bright blue, he is grinning maniacally. In the background, a lightning bolt appears to be falling in slow motion, heightening the suspense for the battle. Everything around them appears to freeze as the bolt hits the ground, and the two of them vanish in separate flashes. While Naruto's was a pale blue flash the color of the sky, Minato's was yellow. Then, with their eyes locked and time remaining motionless, they emerge in the center of the field in a kunai battle. With a lightning-cased hand, imagine how Goku Black does, Naruto stood aback, poised to sever Minato's shoulder. After that, Minato vanishes in a yellow flash to reveal a kunai on the ground. Then, he flashes back to the kunai floating in midair, where he once stood, holding a Rasengan and preparing to strike Naruto in the stomach. To his surprise, Naruto vanishes in a blue flash as well. That must be the flying Raijin of the second Hokage. I can see it is fast but slower than mine. He will most likely only use his natural speed, which is faster than I from Kumo. Son, I am very proud of you. The two then vanish in flashes throughout the Mindscape, causing mini quakes and explosions to occur everywhere. After then, they reappear in the identical positions as before, with the exception of the differences. Minato had a cracked lip and a severe bruise on his left face from a hook his kid had given him. Naruto's wind-covered fist and kunai caused cuts on his cape as well as other parts of his body. Along with cracks and scrapes from all the wind-coated kunai he had absorbed and used to strike his scrawny dad with chakra-enhanced fists. Naruto's blue combat armor also had a hole where his stomach was from the Rasengan he had been hit by. Time seems to be starting over for everyone else, and it would be an understatement to say that Kasumi was astonished because she was unable to follow them at all. The damage done to the environment also shows how hard they are working. Minato grinned and said, "Wow, son, it looks like you were quite quick after all." Naruto smirked and gave Minato a checkmark for the outdated remark, saying, "You are just an old man whose bones can't keep up anymore." Disappearing in a burst of yellow, he kicks Naruto in the back and hits him through the surrounding woods, saying, "Okay then young blood, try to keep up now." Naruto can only think to himself as he flies over trees, "I can't wait to reach my dad's level, man. Perhaps I should try using Kasumi-chan's chakra. No, I have to show my dad that I can fight on my own before I ask for her chakra." Minato simply smiles when he sees a blue source of power approaching him. He makes whips of lightning come out of his back, catch onto the trees, and then launch himself into a catapult posture before blasting out in a streak of blue energy. Damn, he hits like Kushina-chan when she is angry. Naruto's fist smacks into Minato, who tries to block but is driven away since his kid is stronger than him. This flashback shows his son in a violent taijutsu combat. When Minato is in a bad spot, he should have realized that he couldn't defeat his son in taijutsu because he simply can't hit hard enough to hurt his son long enough for him to start a combo. Minato is avoiding a fast-paced barrage of fists from Naruto, who then faints when he catches him in the stomach. Naruto then executes a combo of fists to his father's gut, causing his eyes to roll back of his head for a moment before snapping back when he is struck with an uppercut that sends him flying. Using a skill he learned from his younger sister Sakura, Naruto descends after following his father in the air. Heavenly Foot of Pain. Then Naruto hits his father's stomach with a heel drop, sending him to the ground and creating a crater as a result of the collision. "I guess my chakra is starting to run out, but that is what happens when you face your son who is a damn beast." Minato climbs out of the crater to see his son flying in the air with a calm face looking like some kind of god. "Bad idea to face him in hand to hand, he just beat my ass." Minato then notices he's fading in and out a little bit. "Let's pit my best jutsu against yours, son, and if you prevail, I'll teach you everything I know about jutsu and sealing," he called out to his son, who smiled at hearing it. "Agree." After saying that, Naruto lifts one hand to the sky, and enormous clouds the size of an entire continent appear overhead, emitting the sounds of a violent storm that causes the wind, lightning, and water to spread out, slightly frightening Minato and Kasumi due to the chakra and the size of the cloud. "Hopefully, you're prepared for this, storm style." The next thing that happened made Kasumi even more afraid because it was more destructive than her tailed beast bomb and it annihilated the entire Mindscape, leaving nothing behind, not even grass, just a white void with the three floating. And Naruto, how in the world did you think of something like that? Wide-eyed at the devastation his son had wrought, Minato claimed he had to flash away or he would have undoubtedly perished. Naruto was also a little taken aback because this was the first time he had truly completed the jutsu. He had never completed the jutsu, he had only ever formed it. He pumped his fist into the air, kissed Kasumi, and said something in her ear that caused her to turn crimson and caused some blood to drip from her nose. That was my first time using the jutsu and I must say it was absolutely awesome," he said. He extended his hand in anticipation of his father fulfilling his promise, saying, "Now Dad, I do believe you owe me all your seals and jutsu please." They both chuckle as Minato looks at some chakra that appears to be floating at the bottom of the floor, winks at it, and swears he can see a purple eye wink back at him. "Really thinking about our deal after what you just did? I swear you were just like your mother." Minato then gives Naruto a forehead flick, imparting his wisdom to him. "Okay son, I know I'll give it to you and you can rest because I can see you are really tired after that one. The father pulls Naruto into a manly embrace and says, now you have it, but be sure to practice it well and also use the chakra of Kasumi-san because you will need it in the future. I am so proud of you, son. I can't believe how strong you have gotten in the life you have made for yourself. Make sure to keep them safe and stay strong. Don't ever let this world break you. Your mother and I love you very much. He disappears, leaving Naruto in tears, relieved that his parents care about him. I promise to get even stronger and keep my family safe from harm. And I love you and my mother as well. Over the flashback when he recalls how he and Kasumi had sex that evening and how Kasumi was unable to move the entire day, he smiles even more joyfully. Yay, I will get them some good gear from Ten-chan's shop today. Kurenai-chan, can you watch the kids until we get back? She gives me a dejected face and says, no, I have a team meeting where I have to give my team the slip for the Chunin exams. Hana-chan keeps saying that she wants to see you more, so why don't you take them to her house? Indeed, for the past month, you and her mother have become very close. Anko raised an eyebrow and asked, are you attempting to acquire a mother and daughter pair? Yes, if I claimed not to be feeling them, I would be lying. He exits the pool after finishing, and I adore the wild expression Sume-chan has when her daughter is peaceful but crazy if you can reach her. Good luck today, ladies, and I'll see you when I return. Oh, and remember to give me my Chunin exam slip, Anko-chan. After that, he heads to his room to get dressed and notices Ino taking clothing out of his closet. He then gets an idea and smiles as he approaches Ino, who is hunched over, revealing what's underneath her maid's skirt. After that, Naruto hugs Ino's hips and presses against her. He grabs her cheek and squeezes it, saying, my Ino-chan, how naughty of you showing me what is under your skirt. Do I need to punish you? Eep. What are you doing, Naruto? Red-faced, Ino said. She blushes as he pulls her up to his chest and says, you were just giving me a good show and I just have to show you how much I appreciate it. Ino looks down and says, N Naruto-sama we can't, I am only your slave. She simply blushes when Naruto lifts her head and smiles warmly at her. Ino-chan, as I already stated, you are free to do as you choose. If you don't want me to be like this with you, I will stop, he said, kissing the top of her head. I am not forcing you to do anything you won't like. After she got everything off her chest, she blushed. And no, I just thought being your slave I wouldn't be able to do anything like this with you, because over the month I have developed feelings for you. I also like you too, even though I am your master and you my slave, we can still be together, Ino says with a smile in response to Naruto's grin. They continue their heated makeout session, with each of them rubbing their hands up each other's body until the need for air causes them to separate, leaving Ino's face as red as a tomato's while Naruto is grinning at her. Naruto-sama, thank you. She then gives him a big kiss, expressing all of her love and passion in the kiss. Naruto then kisses her back, picking her up and laying her on his bed, getting on top of her. Stunned by her first kiss, she exclaimed, wow, that was amazing. Providing her with additional kisses and caressing her boozy before separating once more. Oh, don't worry, there is plenty of more where that comes from. Now, Naruto-sama, may we go? I'll choose your outfit, and together we can gather the other females and the presents you promised. He gives her another kiss and rolls off her, saying, okay Ino-chan, we can do that. He then waits for his blonde maid to choose his outfit, asking, Naruto-sama, would you like your ninja costumes or casual clothes? In the closet, Ino said. I will go casual, we are only going shopping. Okay. Ino then goes further and emerges wearing black jeans, black slip-on sandals, and a long, open black hoodie with a simple white t-shirt. When he is dressed, he and Ino leave the compound together. Ino wears gray leggings that accentuate her tight leg muscles and rear, black tennis shoes, and an orange blouse with the Uzumaki insignia on the back. Hana was ecstatic to see Naruto and the children again after they had dropped them off at her house. They head to Sakura's house and pick her up, dressed in a long-sleeved red shirt with her clan emblem on the back, black ninja sandals with little cherry blossoms on them, and red leggings that resemble Ino and reveal her firm, large butt that made men notice. They applaud and both kiss his cheek. Okay, now let's just go to Panda-chan's shop and I'll get you girls whatever you want. Sakura said, thank you Nii-san. Ino said, thank you Naruto-sama. The leaf of gold Naruto enters through the front entrance and says, Panda-chan, we're here so just buy anything you want. However, he had to dodge a flying sword. Tenten jerks her head toward Neji, Lee, and the guy in the store and then adds, I thought I told you not to call me that in front of people Oni-chan. Kun Naruto. It's great to see you again on this young day. exclaimed the always vivacious Lee as he hurried over to Naruto. Yes, Naruto-kun. How are your youthful flames doing? Mighty Guy said, coming up beside Lee. He stopped for effect, drawing the two closer. I have kept them ablaze every day and now, they have gone out of control, creating a fountain of youth. Dramatically, a fountain of flames appears in the center of the store as Naruto says this. The brightness of the flames genuinely makes everyone's eyes widen, but nobody is as shocked as Lee and Guy. Look at how our friend has created his flames, Lee. Until our flames are hotter than the sun's, we must follow suit, Guy said as he approached Naruto's flames. I shall work until my fires are a whirlwind of youth, Guy-sensei. If I am unable to do so, I will run to Suna with nothing left to do but my hands. Lee's eyes were burning as he spoke. All right, let's leave. Then, while exercising, the two dash out of the store. Why do you continually join them in their games, Oni-chan? With a blank tone, Tenten queried Naruto. Because it's fun once you start and I really enjoy messing with those guys. Neji looked at Naruto blankly and stated, you are a fool, their fate is to be a loser and so will you. However, he was entirely disregarded. So, ladies, what would you like to get? Naruto questioned the gathering of females. Well, we all talked about it and we all want something that is loose and gives us room to move around, Ino responded. Well, I'd like to dress like the Anbu. Sakura remarks as she makes her way to Anbu gear. Their clothes are ideal for me. Well, that settles Sakura-chan. Well, let's go try some things on. Naruto spent a while reading through his father's notes and expressing his opinions about some of the girls' attire. Neji was frequently around and would frequently hurl insults, but to his ire, no one ever paid him any mind. Sakura is seen leaving the dressing room wearing an Enbu-style outfit with a red belt that is long at the end and frequently flaps at the end. She is wearing black gloves and has no sleeves or forearm guards, showcasing her toned, smooth arms, and she has a headband on her waist that runs the length of the red belt. You look great, little sister. Giving her a thumbs up makes her smile. You look like a real badass. Just have Ino cut your hair to your shoulders. Someone might grab it during a fight. Ino exits the dressing room wearing her new outfit, which includes a purple trench coat with a black Uzumaki swirl on the back, a gray shirt that reaches her knees and reveals her belly button, a high black skirt and black biker shorts underneath that stop above her knee, bandages wrapped on her right thigh and a kunai pouch, black high-heel boots with a fishnet knee sleeve on her left leg, and a headband over her forehead. Are you pleased with Naruto-sama as you see him? Ino strikes a seductive position for Naruto, who is limited to staring and nodding at her. He smiles at her and responds, oh yay Ino-chan, you look sexy as hell in that outfit. Tenten exits the dressing room and presents her preferred ensemble to everyone. She is wearing the same Chinese-style pants, but they are now red with fishnet pockets, black ankle ninja sandals, and a black tight long-sleeve shirt that hugs her body and is covered by a black Anbu chest piece. Her headband was strapped over her heart. Naruto, with anime tears streaming down his cheeks, remarks, Panda-chan, you look so grown up. I remember I would find you snuggled up to a stuffed panda at night and you would. Naruto is interrupted when he has to evade a barrage of weapons from the red-faced Tenten. Don't discuss that. I told you. Remembering that she still sleeps with the panda Naruto gave her, the embarrassed Tenten remarked. Girls, hurry and escape for your lives. Sakura and Ino chase Naruto as he runs out of the store. Neji has never seen Tenten like this, so he is a little alarmed when he hears her laugh evilly. So you want to be my target practice, right, Oni-chan? Suddenly, hundreds of weapons appear behind her, and she rushes off at high speeds, shocking Neji with her speed. Village streets, a huge hammer nearly struck him as he stated, okay girls, she will probably want to use us as target practice, so let's make this some training. The two girls, who had long since learned that it was keep up or get left behind and that they had to halt when three children got in the path, nod in time with Naruto's jogging pace. Boss. When they saw him, the three children exclaimed joyfully. Can we play ninja, Oni-chan? You committed to playing with us, Konohamaru exclaimed, bouncing up and down. Naruto and the females behind him answered, yes, why don't we play dodge the flying weapons, and did just that. The lad with the brown hair winked at him and said, Naruto Oni-chan, are they your, girlfriend in any way? Kono, don't be dumb, he can't have more than one girlfriend, Moegi responded. Still dodging weapons, Naruto declared, I actually do have more than one girlfriend. The children also made him grin, letting him know that the training he had put them through was paying off. What is your number? Wiping his nose, Udon uttered such words. Naruto murmured, 6, as he caught 5 spiky balls in midair. They hear the sound of the children screaming on the other side and proceed to investigate what happened when they notice a huge fireball approaching and flee. Naruto then captures the fireball in his water-encased hand and extinguishes it. "You injured me, you little brat." A voice that sounded masculine said, "I believe I will teach you a lesson." "We apologize for disappointing him, we were escaping a huge fireball." Then Naruto comes around the corner and sees a blonde female behind him with her hair in 4 spiked ponytails and a fan on her back, and a boy wearing a catsuit, makeup, and a bandaged package on his back. Naruto approached them and said, "Hey lady, put the kid down." He said he was sorry. "I'm a boy." The female behind him laughs gently at this. The youngster went to his sister and shouted, "Shut up, Tamari. Don't be yelling at me because you look like a girl with that makeup on Konkuro." Tamari responded with a scream. "Look, just put him down before things get ugly around here," said Naruto. "Tell me what you're going to do, please." Konkuro was on the verge of punching Konohamaru. "It wouldn't be a good idea to come here and punch the grandson of the 3rd Hokage unless you want to start a war." The two shudder at that, which is not missed by the group. He is halted when he feels something on his neck and turns to see Naruto holding a kunai. Konkuro thought to himself, "This guy is fast, I didn't even see him move." Tamari licks her lips behind him, saying, "Hot, funny, strong, this guy is the total package." She is about to remove her fan when she notices Ino sticking her silver bow staff out. Naruto looks at the tree and remarks, "I don't know how your friend in the tree will feel if I kill you, but he might be more angry than he already is." "Konkuro, you are a disgrace to Suna." A red-haired child with a gourd on his back leaps from the tree and stands behind his brother. "But Gaara stared at his brother and snarled, "Shut up or I'll kill you." He blasted Naruto with some of his ki after saying, "I am sorry for how my stupid sibling acted. My name is Gaara, and mother wants your blood." Naruto appeared undisturbed, stunning everyone. "Listen, you little raccoon. Since you are on my territory, where I am the strongest, you are no longer in your town, which implies that you are not the strongest." Naruto walked up to Gaara and blasted him with his own ki, frightening him and the group in the trees. "You are the weakest of us 9. Don't make me put you in your place." His san was not responding to the boy, and he was frightened that his mother wouldn't defend him. At one point, he was standing over Gaara, who had wide eyes. Naruto used demon chakra to say, "Now I suggest you not kill any leaf ninja while you are here in the village or cause any trouble in the red light district or I am gonna have to come find you and kill you." He gives Tamari a wink before leaving, saying, "My name is Naruto Uzumaki, make sure you remember it." Tamari blushes a little. "Uchiha, I hope that you are happy now and will stop watching me." Naruto-sama was a Jinchuriki as well. After they had left, Ino spoke up and stated, "I could feel it when he tried to scare us." "Yes, if we meet him on the tests, should we fight him?" Sakura questioned Naruto. He gave them a 3-pronged kunai that caused them to widen their eyes and said, "Only fight him if you have to, but when he starts to transform and you can't win, just send chakra into this." Sakura took it with Ino, who remarked, "And Naruto-sama, you finished this jutsu." "You bet I did, you didn't have any doubts did you?" She kissed him and murmured, "Oh of course not, you are my amazing Naruto-sama after all." Sakura tried to make fun of her brother by saying, "Wow Oni-chan, you are now dating Ino Pig." Ino grabbed his arm and yelled, "Shut it forehead girl, you are just mad. I have a real man and you don't." Sakura grabbed his other arm and exclaimed, "Yeah, right, Ino Pig is my brother." After letting out a sigh, Naruto withdrew his arm from its grasp, created a water whip, and struck them in the ass. "What did I say about you two fighting?" he asked. They lowered their heads and said, "Not to do it. Tonight you both will receive 100 spankings." What? No, you can't. We can't fight properly since we have tests tomorrow. Don't be so cruel, Naruto-sama, Ino cried, sobbing with anime tears. Why yes Oni-chan, don't do that to little Olmi. Sakura gave him puppy dog eyes as she stated that. Naruto grabbed them up and flew to his property while they were screaming and kicking, leaving a smiling Tenten. "I don't want to hear it." Tenten laughed on the roof and muttered, "Haha, that serves them." However, she stopped when she heard Naruto behind her. "What's making you laugh? Additionally, you will face consequences for launching a fireball into the community," Naruto declared. She is stepping back, saying, Wait Oni-chan, we can work something out right." "No I don't think so." He jumps to collect her, but she flees and seeks refuge at the Hokage office. He chases after her when she says, "Oh no you don't." Office of the Hokage is meeting with all of the Jonin from each village who have teams taking the tests inside the room. Alright, this is for every Jonin visiting our village. Avoid going into the area where red lights are generating issues. The Uzumaki and one of our ninja are in charge of that location, and if you cause trouble there, they will deal with you. The leader is being ridiculed by one of the Jonin, who smirked and said, "It sounds to me that you cannot keep one of your own ninjas in line." This made the other Jonin laugh as well. I'm not saying that at all. He controls the entire region, and the locals respect this ninja, so I caution you that if you cause trouble, you will have to deal with both him and the populace. All of the foreign ninja are put on guard when a brown-haired female bursts through the window, her face displaying a panicked expression. All of the Leaf Ninja looked around in confusion as the girl shook the leader furiously and cried, "Hokage-sama, help me, it's him, he is trying to give me spankings again." Anbu. In order to conceal the girl, who already knows what is happening, 4 Anbu descend and lift her to the roof. One of the sand ninjas, gazing around anxiously, remarked, "Hokage-sama, what is going on?" He is the one who will punish misbehaving people, and several of our courageous ninjas have succumbed to his fury. Please give them a moment of silence. Every Leaf Ninja looks down with tears in their eyes. Hiruzen screams in horror as a gust of wind blows through the office, knocking all of his papers to the ground. No. He sobs on the ground at having to repeat all of that, but not the papers. As he stood up again, the Hokage said, "Quickly all Leaf Ninja get in formation. We will take the fight to him." Everyone was trying to see through the smoke that had entered the room, but some people became anxious when they saw blue eyes staring back at them. Someone from the smoke says in a demonic voice, "So you wish to hide the girl, do you? Well, in that case you all shall fall." This makes all of the Leaf Ninjas flee in fear. The worst beating of their lives was inflicted on those who remained. It hurt like hell when they were all whipped by a water whip, referring them to the medical facility. Then he takes out the orange book of the Hokage and his eyes enlarge as he says, "So old man, you were hiding the outlaw this whole time. I think someone has to pay. Naruto-kun, come on, we can be civil about this, don't do it please." He then uses his wind chakra to tear up the book, causing the Hokage to drop to his knees. "When will you learn that your actions have consequences?" he asks. Naruto grabs 2 people and launches a beam of light at the ceiling. Yugo and Tenten. "Wow, Yugo-chan, I didn't know you would help her." The purple-haired Anbu remarked, "I had to and I regret nothing." "Oh well, when I cut up your book of swords and housewives we will see if you can keep that same energy." When she attempted to say, "No, leave my book alone, I'm sorry, Naruto-kun," she was struck in the ass by a water whip. He then takes off with the 2 yelling girls, saying, "The time for apologies is over. Now you must face your punishment." Even the very arrogant Naruto feels a little anxious about the examinations, while everyone else is incredibly anxious on this exam day. Because he saw how weak his community had become, he told himself that he would truly show off to make his name known and make others fear his village. He is doing something that will help him decompress because he needed to do so. "Oh yes, Naruto-kun, that's it. Oh my god. Fill me up." Anko, Kuranai, and Tsunami are shown being screwed till they faint by Naruto and a few clones. Anko screams out with an Aigao face as he drills into her from behind and pulls her hair in a doggy style. In a missionary position, Kuranai is seen getting so full that she is on the verge of fainting. In addition to having an Aigao face, Tsunami is in a mating press and is about to faint from pleasure. Naruto is just about to finish, and they have been here for 3 hours since they woke up at 6 in the morning. It is now 9 in the morning. "Okay girls, here I come." "Yes, fill us up," cried Anko, groaning like a sex worker on the street corner. In between groans, Kuranai exclaimed, "Wait the jutsu," while attempting to employ an anti-pregnancy jutsu. Naruto blasted his white ropes into the girls, filling them to overflowing, and they performed the jutsu just in time, saying, "Oh yeah, don't want another kid just yet." "Okay, thank you girls, I am more cool now and I'm ready for the exams." Tsunami fainted before she could finish, "You're welcome." Anko and Kuranai finished for her and passed out as well, saying, "Naruto-kun." He laughed to himself, got dressed, and went to prepare breakfast for everyone. And they said they would outlast me. He started to head to the kitchen to prepare breakfast for everyone, but was stopped when Rukia burst into the room grinning. "Good morning, Papa," Rukia said, leaping into Naruto's embrace and kissing him on the cheek, which caused him to smile. Good morning to you as well, Rukia-chan. Rukia inquired, what are you going to make for breakfast? He shrugs and replies, I don't know, Ino or Tsunami normally does it. Rukia's purple eyes flash excitedly as she replies, well, can we have some pancakes? They're always good when Ino makes them. Naruto grinned and said, I guess so. I need a big breakfast because today is the Chunin exams. Rukia sprang with delight as she said, oh yay, you are gonna beat everyone, right, Dad? Naruto let his three elements appear behind him for dramatic effect, saying, you bet I am. None of them can stand to the storm of Konoha. Rukia gave her dad a clap, saying, oh yay, that's so cool, we will be cheering for you. After a while, everyone emerged from their rooms, greeted one another with good mornings, and began eating breakfast. They spent the entire morning laughing and engaging in pointless conversation before doing some minor exercise to get their heart rates up. When Naruto chose to go to battle, he put on his blue armor that had been mended and infused with Kasumi chakra, making it much harder and ensuring that only an A or S rank jutsu would actually harm him. Naruto can be seen putting on his test clothing. When the seal emerged, Kasumi tied it around his neck to create his orange fur coat. He proudly wore his headband on his forehead and his moonlight sword around his waist. He massaged her ears and said, are you prepared to do this, Kasumi-chan? We are going for gold today. You know I got your back, Naruto-kun. She stroked his head. Everyone is waiting for him to give him good luck when he exits his room and steps outside. Kuranai winked and added, Naruto-kun, make sure you put on a show for me, okay? I have a lot of money on you. Naruto laughed and everyone laughed, which made her blush. Oh Kuranai, I didn't know you were so irresponsible. It seems Anko has been rubbing off on you. With her cheeks still flushed, she turned back and crossed her arms, saying, shut up. She blushed even more when Naruto moved behind her and put his arms around her. He comforted her by kissing her and saying, don't be like that, we're just kidding. I'll win, and you can have another reward later. Green-faced, Inari exclaimed, Iu-otou-san, why did you do that with your lips? Oh, don't act like that, Inari-kun, Tsunami murmured, attempting to plant a kiss on his cheek but being pushed away by him. In an attempt to get moving, Ino stated, Naruto-sama, we should get going now or we will be late for the exams. According to Naruto, okay Ino-chan, we can head out. After saying goodbye to everyone, Naruto left them all to go their separate ways. Tsunami and the children stayed at home, while Renmaro went to the Hyuga compound to train with his friend Hanabi. Kuranai and Anko went to the Jonin lounge, and Haku went to the hospital because her probation was about to expire. He knew they would create some dumb test that concentrated on some sort of paper test, and as he made his way to the academy, all he could do was grumble at having to return here. With a smile on his face, Ino grabbed Naruto's hand and said, I know Naruto-sama, I also don't want to be here, but I can set up a mind link with you, and then we can still talk and give each other answers. He kissed her cheek and whispered, ah, what would I do without you, my Ino-chan? She laughed at Naruto's expression and remarked, you wouldn't be able to make breakfast or pick your own clothes. In an attempt to redeem himself, he added, Ino-chan, this morning was not my fault. The pancakes grew armed and attempted to defend themselves against you, Naruto-sama. Ino stated, deadpan, I even think it did a jutsu. If it wasn't for Rukia-chan stabbing it and Haku-chan freezing it, we would be fighting it still. Ino continued to glare at Naruto, who had lost confidence as a result of Ino's harsh remarks. With a rain cloud over his head, Naruto spoke on the ground, Ino-chan, you can be mean to your master sometimes, you know that. Ino walked away, saying, you have tough skin, get over it, master. He glanced over his shoulder and saw Kasumi on Ino's shoulder, giving him the middle claw with her paws. Kasumi-chan, you hear how she treats me. He couldn't believe what he was witnessing, and a tear fell from his eye. You traitor. A lightning bolt struck him, creating a smokescreen, and he proceeded to bite his hand, drawing blood. The haze lifted, but nothing happened, and he merely looked foolish. Sakura approached her companions Sasuke and a new child named Sai and pleaded, Oni-chan, please stop embarrassing yourself and just walk to the exams. All right, Imouto-chan, my partner and traitorous slave, abandoned me. You won't abandon me, will you? He was sobbing anime tears while holding Sakura by the shoulder. Give me a break. She delivered a chakra-enhanced strike to his head. Well, at least those two are not so nervous anymore and I took some of their fear away, she said, walking away with a tick mark on her head due to her brother's behavior. He then gets up, puts on a straight expression like his father, releases a lot of chakra, cracks the earth, and walks away, frightening everyone and forcing them to make a space for him to walk through. Alright, I have to get some of my badass points back for that though. All of the rookie teams are shown moving toward one another and conversing as if nothing were wrong in the exam room. It appears that we are all here and prepared to kick some ass. Kiba, who was always talking loudly, looked around and remarked, "Wait, where is that loser blonde Naruto?" Everyone turned at Sakura, who flushed from the attention, as Sasuke muttered, why do you even worry about him? Sakura just knocked him out with one hit." Shikamaru recalled how Naruto beat him and his entire team by himself when he had come to drop Ino off on time, and he still recalled what Naruto said to him that made him put in more effort. "Man, how troublesome. I hope he doesn't come, because if he does we will all lose." "Shika, you are the team's brains. They rely on you to come up with a solid plan and support them. We are no longer in the academy, so you can't just sit about. If one of them passed away because you were too frail to keep them safe, could you really live with yourself?" He was forced to consider his actions since joining a team after hearing those statements. The shy Hyuga, who had improved slightly over the months due to Naruto frequently visiting her compound with her close friend Ranmara, stammered, "I hope he is alright." The fox on her shoulder and Ino herself caught everyone's attention as she added, "Oh, he is coming, I can feel him making his way." "Don't you guys sense that? You will sense his arrival if you simply open your senses." The other teams in the room listened to them as well, and they did search for him and see what alarmed them. "Oh my god, do you guys feel how strong this guy is?" Karui, a dark-skinned female with red hair and golden eyes, stated with wide eyes in response to the Kumo team's reaction. Even Samui, a girl with short blonde hair, light blue eyes, and somewhat tanned skin, seemed astonished when she felt the strength the guy was unleashing. Omoi, who has dark skin, shaggy blonde hair, and a sucker in his mouth, frothed out his mouth at all the things that went through his mind. Damn, what if he comes in and kills all of us, and then the Raikage gets mad and tries to kill him but fails, and then a war breaks out killing the whole world. Holy shit, this guy is insane. A boy dressed as a mummy named Dosu wrapped up, and the grass team could feel Naruto's power as he made his way to them. "Yay, but I will still blow him away," Zaku, who was perspiring, stated with a foolish sneer. "Oh my Kami, what the hell is he made of? I can feel his power from here. We are all going to die," was the girl's alternative response to what was happening. Kin said, maintaining an outside straight face. The more courageous genin attempted to frighten him by striking him with some of their ki, but all of them were knocked out when Naruto released his own ki. The door was blasted open, revealing the source of power, and the sight of it made all the girls blush and the guys green with jealousy. In his mind, Kiba exclaimed, "Holy shit. What made me come at all? But Shikamaru, what a drag. He frightens my bugs. I should avoid you," Shino said. With a proud smile and a flush, Ino declared, "That's my master." Sakura thought to herself, blushing a little, "Oni-chan is so badass." Samui's face flushed when she saw how awesome Naruto was, so cool. A genin wearing a grass headband licked her lips and remarked, "Damn, that boy is strong." A boy with glasses and gray hair stated, "Hey, you guys should really keep it down, you have caused a lot of problems." Naruto approached the group and exclaimed, "What the hell do you mean to keep it down? The whole point of my entrance was to make a lot of noise." Kabuto pushed his spectacles up and replied, "Well, this is your first time, so I figured you would need some help." Naruto, irritated with him, said, "Just tell us what you want so you can get out of here." Kasumi leapt to Naruto and began to lick his face, saying in Naruto's mind, "Naruto-kun, he smells like snakes and blood." "Does he now? Well, I know Anko does not know a dork like this guy, so he must work for that snake bastard." Naruto was becoming irritated. "Well, I have some information you guys might find useful. I even have some on you," Kabuto replied, attempting to move the topic along because he felt a little uncomfortable with Naruto's way of looking at him. As he approached, Sasuke said, "Tell me everything you have on Naruto Uzumaki, Gaara of the Sand, and Rock Lee." Kabuto then takes the cards, inserts chakra into them, and extracts their cards, saying, "Oh, you already know their names, no fun." Rock Lee. I won't waste your time because you've all read this before. Naruto Uzumaki has completed 147 D ranks in the Red Light District alone. Because he restored the region and made it secure, it appears that the residents in the district view him as their leader. 4 C ranks, and it appears that when he went to Wave, he used his bloodline storm release of water and lightning to split the sky with his sword, bring a dragon out of the sky, and kill Raiga of the 7 Swordsmen. Everyone turned to stare at Naruto, who was only grinning at the terrified looks he was receiving. Naruto took his card away from the youngster who had frozen at the concealed words and stated, "Okay, you little snake, that is enough of giving out your comrade's information to enemy ninja." It appears that all of the Leaf Ninja noticed the extra emphasis he placed on Snake and comrades. Naruto grinned when he saw how angry all of the Leaf Ninja were at Kabuto. Got his ass. A cloud of smoke filled the room, and other Leaf Ninja emerged, but the one with the bandana on his head and the scar on his face moved forward. "All right, you jerks, get down and stop talking because the test is about to start." As he walked to the front of the room, Morino Ibiki said, "All right, you will be tested to determine whether you are intelligent enough to be a Chunin. Don't get caught because you have 45 minutes to finish the test and you and your entire team will be disqualified if you are found to have cheated 3 times. Have any inquiries?" He dismisses a child who raises his hand, saying, "Everyone start the damn test." After that, everyone began the test, and as time went on, some teams were eliminated while others continued to take it while others deduced its purpose. Sakura was intelligent enough to answer the questions on her own, and Sasuke can be seen using his copy eye to follow her marks. Ino had connected her thoughts with her colleagues, and Shikamaru had shared the answers with them all. Tamari was glancing at Naruto while waiting for her brother to give her the answers. Gaara had created an eye of sand and forced it to search around for the answers. If they attempted to subtract points from him, he would blast them with ki to stop them. The Kumo squad appeared to be sharpening their sword while using it as a mirror to view other people's responses. Hinata Hyuga, whose face was flushed and steam was oozing from her ears, is shown with Naruto resting his head in her lap. She was unable to perform the test because she felt Naruto so close to her feminine area. For control, Hinata said, "NNNN Naruto-kun CCC, can why you please move." Though Hinata is unaware of it, Naruto said in a phony tone of pain, "Ah, Hina-chan, you don't want me." She blushes when she says, "No, Naruto-kun, you can stay in my lap all you want." She froze when she realized what had happened, and then she collapsed. "Ah, Hina-chan, you are the best." He kissed her forehead. When she gets all flustered like that, Naruto was laughing at how adorable she is, but he was stopped off when Kasumi jumped in the air and landed on his stomach, forcing him to leap up and throw the fox out the window so that everyone could hear what sounded like screaming. "What on earth do you think this is, Uzumaki?" Ibiki, tired of the brat, said, "Take your damn test." Everyone, including the Jonin watching, was astonished by what he did when he sat down, looked at his test, and just hurled it at Ibiki, striking him in the face. "All right, Jez." The Jonin lounge in addition to Kuranai and the other Jonin in the room. Yugito was also observing her team, and Enko was seen writhing on the floor with her stomach in her hands, giggling at Naruto's trolling of her partner. "Kasumi, what is that? How come she's not under the seal?" Inside Yugito's thoughts, Matabi uttered such words. Yugito remembered her best friend and asked, "Kasumi, is that the name of the 9 tails?" "Yes, and she is completely outside the seal, but it shouldn't be feasible because the host ought to be dead, but he is obviously not." Yugito responded to her buddy by saying, "Well, maybe his seal is made different." Enko returned to her seat and remarked, "Man, I feel bad for everyone else who has to take part in the next part of the exams." "Enko, why do you say that?" Asuma continued to smoke. Kuranai, who didn't even care how she referred to Naruto, stated, "Well, they have to fight Naruto-kun of course." "When did you begin referring to him as Naruto-kun?" Asuma exclaimed with surprise. Kuranai said, "About 3 months ago. Are you in a relationship?" Kakashi inquired. Enko threw her arm around Kuranai and added, "Yes we are, he actually has 6 girlfriends." "Kuranai, he is 13 and I've been asking you out for years." This startled everyone. "Well, I told you I didn't like you but you kept asking me." "Did you have sex as well?" With some blood trickling from his nose, Kakashi uttered those words. Everyone noticed the expression on the 2 females' faces that said it all. They blush when they recall how Naruto fucked them into submission this morning and they all enjoyed it. Astonished, Asuma sprang up and said, "No you didn't." The red-faced Kuranai covers Enko's mouth with her hands, interrupting her as she says, "Oh yes we did and he was a beast, he had Kuranai." "Stop talking, you baka," Kuranai said, returning to the examination room. When the fox flies back in and strikes Naruto in the face with her tails, smashing him against the wall, the window is broken. Naruto got up and prepared to confront the fox, saying, "Damn fuzzball, you want to go?" Kasumi growled and yipped at Naruto, earning him a tick mark. Tenten steps in the path of their battle with a displeased expression on her face and says, "Oni-chan, please take a seat." We are currently in the midst of an actual test. He leans back in his chair and says, okay, I'll overlook it this time. Kasumi then climbs back on his neck and kisses his face, which makes him happy. Everyone does exactly that when Ibiki says, everyone, stop and turn the test over, we are about to give out the last question. As a thank you for the pleasant morning, Naruto then calms him down because he already knows what he is going to do because Enko told him this morning. Are you listening, Uzumaki? He was shouted at by Ibiki. Oh my god. Please don't yell my name, he says, irritated that he keeps attempting to make fun of him. I only like it when my girls do that. Everyone blushes because of what he was demonstrating. What are you going to do? I inquired. Stay or go? Ibiki said, attempting to scare him with a little key. Of course, we're staying. Did you think my team and I would crumble under duress? We are not those weak-sounding ninjas that you confused us with. We don't flee or give up, and that's what gives you the will of fire. The determination to keep going through the fire's leaves. All of the Leaf Ninjas smile and regain some of their confidence at Naruto's remarks, wanting to keep going. His brief outburst appears to have given them the upper hand. We appear to have a leader who was born to lead. To everyone's applause, Ibiki said, all right, everyone who stayed has passed. He is interrupted as a crash occurs through the window, revealing Enko wearing a black trench coat with purple flames at the bottom, a black miniskirt, and fishnet below. Now your next Proctor WI. All right. It's the gorgeous and contented Enko Midarashi. She's just standing there striking a posture as some fire erupts behind her. The majority of people gaze at the attractive entrance, and while the girls are envious and the lads are lustful, Naruto merely gives his hubbyheim a tender smile. She immediately leaps out the window with Naruto, who flies out after her, frightening all of the foreign ninja. Okay, you brats, let's head to the Forest of Death. You have 30 minutes to make your way to the field. For once, the snake is unaware that he is being targeted as the prey. He is strong but he holds the Kyuubi and I won't be able to place my mark on him, but I can try, and if I can't then he will die. As we can see, every team that passed the first section of the test is waiting for the proctor in front of the gates. However, they are not prepared for what they see. A bunch of lustful youngsters are watching Naruto and Enko while they are having a passionate makeout session, oblivious to everyone else's presence. One of the genin coughs loudly to get their attention as their hands are moving over each other's bodies, ready to remove their garments. Not even glancing at them, Enko exclaimed, "What, can't you see I am busy?" A genin yells, "We have our test to do," but is interrupted when a kunai passes by. She suddenly appears behind him and says, "It is the loud mouths like you that often die first in this forest." Naruto gives her a wink and says, "Okay Enko-chan, I think we can stop right now. We can just pick up later where we left off." "Okay Naruto-kun." After explaining the rules to the others, Enko received some complaints, but they stopped talking when he threw kunai at them or climbed snakes up their legs. "Okay, now that I have finished explaining, it should be pretty simple. Go and take someone's scroll and get to the tower within 5 days before dying, and if you die that just means you were too weak." Enko is speaking over the speaker. Naruto approaches Hinata, who is visibly trembling and a little afraid, which is made worse by the Kumo ninja group's attention to her. "Hinata-chan." The girl jumps at this. She looked down and said, "En Naruto-kun, what can I do?" Instead, she flushes as he approaches her and says, "I need you to be strong in this forest." With hesitation, she adds, "I will try." Naruto sharply advises her, "No, don't try, just do it Hinata." She looks down as she says, I can't, I am not like you." Her cheeks flushes as Naruto holds her chin and raises her head so she is staring at him. "Hinata, you are strong. I have seen it with my own eyes. You must learn to stand on your own 2 feet and become your own pillar of strength. You can't always depend on someone to come save you. Find that strength you have in yourself and show no mercy to your enemies because they will not show any to you." He concludes by unawares motivating everyone who heard him. He kisses her forehead and makes her wide-eyed, saying, "Your team will have your back and you must have theirs." Inspired by his remarks, Ino adds, "That's my Naruto-sama." Shikamaru thinks to himself, becoming serious for the first time in his life, he is right. I need to get off my ass, my team needs me. Choji puts his chips away and says, "Yes, Naruto is right again. I must be there for my comrades." Tenten muses, "Oni-chan is undoubtedly an excellent motivational coach," examining every weapon and seal she used while interacting with Naruto. As she tightens her Anbu gear and gloves, Sakura muses, "Yes, I will use my own strength." The other genin give Naruto a wide passage as he returns to his designated gate, but he locks eyes with the disguised grass ninja and his eyes turn crimson with a slit for a moment, glaring at the ninja like a predator. With the exception of Naruto, who enters via the open gate, all of the genin run into the forest as Anko yells, "All right, Goo," over the speaker. One of the Chunin asked his comrade, "What is Naruto doing?" His partner responds, "I don't know, that kid is just full of surprises." Anko grins at them, making most men flee in fear. "He is saving his strength, you idiots." Saving his strength for what he has to make it to the tower in 5 days. Anko told them, that's just that he has 5 days. The Death Forest, he creates 10 shadow clones, all of whom leap into the forest to guard his back and take his place if necessary. 5 days, there's no need for me to rush, the teams will come to me expecting me to be easy prey. He closes his eyes, places his finger on the ground, and uses his 30-mile range senses to reach out in all directions. Okay, now that I have a defense set up, let's see if we can find anyone close to me. Should be easy since I have been here for weeks with Anko-chan. He stands up and checks his scroll once again, saying, "My sensory skills need to be improved." Tobirama is able to scan the whole village and even further than that. He then conjures up water out of thin air, creates a huge wave, and rides it through the forest while grinning. Heaven scroll. Looks like we are looking for an earth scroll. I wish I had another summon for the ground because my Thunderbirds won't work in this dense forest. I wish I had the chakra chains of my clan, maybe I can work on it after this. Thinking over his shoulder, Kasumi declares, "I swear if he and Kushina were to fight together the world would not survive." An hour has passed, and Naruto has already destroyed several teams with his enormous 20-foot wave. He was also rapidly collecting scrolls, but he was unwilling to ascend up the tower since he had not yet found a dance partner that can match his steps. The Madara-like response left Kasumi with no choice but to roll her eyes. After jumping from the wave, he lands on a rain ninja, who knocks him unconscious with an elbow drop to the skull. Then, using rebreators, he rushes the 2 rain ninjas and stuns them with lightning-enhanced blows. The 2 rain ninjas are being shocked inside a water bubble in a water-style water prison. Before they may perish, he lets it go. With a blank tone, he tells them, "Now hand your scroll over or go back into the bubble." The rain ninja delivers him the scroll and says, "Here we only have heaven. Let's leave now." He turns away from them and says, "Okay, you leave the tower, weaklings." This makes them both furious at being thrown aside. No leaf debris could beat them, they were the best in their village. "Who are you calling weak, you leaf trash?" they ask, before directing hand signals and basketball-sized water bullets at him. Kasumi then enlarges her tails and blocks the weak bullets, saying, "Pathetic. Kasumi-chan, can you deal with them?" "Okay, Naruto-kun." She immediately leaps behind them and enlarges into a 7-foot-tall bear with her teeth bared, ready to rip through any rubbish that dares to fight her and her partner. She quickly swiped her claws over them, biting them here and there, and bidding the rain ninjas farewell. He then blasts a spray of water out of his palms, wiping her teeth and removing all of the blood and flesh from her. "Nice job, Kasumi-chan, as effective as ever, let me clean that real quick." "Thank you, Naruto-kun." "No problem, and can you stay like that so I can ride on your back?" she replied. With a flirtatious tone, she says, "Well, I can, but you will have to make it up to me later." He leaps on her back and pats her butt, asking her to leave, saying, "Oh, that I can do. Hey, I am not some horse, don't smack my butt." She blushed beneath the fur as he smiled at her and said, "You didn't say that last night." She immediately flies off quickly in search of prey to vanquish, saying, Shut up, idiot." Because Naruto had instructed her not to exhibit fear or falter like the other girls, Ino and her team are currently hiding under the bushes while witnessing Gaara and his siblings murder a team mercilessly. While the 2 boys wince, Ino just looks with unflinching gaze. In a low voice, Shikamaru tells his squad, "Okay, we need to leave before they see us and kill us." Ino responds calmly, as she has learned from Naruto, that is pointless. He already knows we are here. If he attacks us and we strike back, her crew is shocked. Choji shook and muttered, "Ino, we can't beat those guys, so let's just run." Ino looks at them and says, "Look at you two, shaking in terror, you are supposed to be the clan heirs. Act like it, this is not something we can run from." Gaara looks at them and holds out his hand as Ino pulls out her staff and prepares to battle. In order to avoid the sand at their feet, they leap out of the bush as soon as possible. As she performs the fire-style flaming flower hand signals, Ino blasts a huge flower that resembles a burning rose, striking Gaara's sand and turning it to glass, frightening everyone with the intensity of her flames. Ino stands with her staff and declares, I know I am not stronger than you, but I can still not run away just because my life is in danger. Gaara aims more sand at Ino, who avoids it with ease, and says, your blood will make mother satisfied for now. His sand is pretty fast, if only I could make it slower with some water, but we are not close to any water supplies. If only I could pull water from the air like Naruto-sama. Ino does additional hand signals, such as pouring flames, while jumping in a tree. Then, above Gaara, who just stands there as if nothing were happening, she unleashes a barrage of flames. He is stuck in a glass dome after being startled when the fire converts his sand to glass. She then leaps down from the tree, her staff poised to strike the stranded Gaara, saying, okay, let's take this time to capitalize. However, when a gust of wind hits her, she has to block and gets slightly cut, along with her purple trench coat. With a menacing fan swing, Temari asks, did you forget about us? Looking around, she sees Choji in his human boulder, preparing to run over the glass Gaara, and Shikamaru under a bush. Damn, I did, but what about my team? She asks. Okay, I thought they left me for a second. Choji exclaims, human boulder, as he approaches Gaara. However, the glass breaks before he can strike it, and a wall of sand appears to impede his path. According to Shikamaru, who is in the bushes, damn, we need to retreat. Gaara threw his sand in the direction of Ino, who knocked some away with her fire-covered bow staff, saying, your death will make Uzumaki suffer, so suffer you shall. After that, Kankuro orders his puppet to approach Ino from behind. Although she doesn't appear to notice, she does, and she does something surprising. For a moment, she stops all assaults that come in contact with her circle by dropping to her back and spinning around with her fiery bow staff, creating a flaming circle that covers her. Shikamaru thinks in awe, wow, she has really improved over the past month. She is nearly as strong as Asuma-sensei. A flame ignites inside him as he clenches his hand in rage, asking, have I really fallen that far behind to where I can't even fight with my comrades? Like her blonde master, Ino asks, panting but smiling, is that all you can do, Sandman and Puppet Boy? Temari yelled, wind-style cyclone jutsu. Ino leapt to avoid being caught in the sand of Gaara, but he was captured. Ino says, oh no, but doesn't give up. Okay, I just need to expel as much fire chakra as possible and hopefully this will stun him long enough for me to regroup. Gaara approaches her with a savage smile, but Ino only looks at him blankly. Now you shall die and Uzumaki will come for his revenge and give me his blood. Sand coffin. He slams his fist, expecting to see her blood spill and hear her screams of agony, but he is mistaken as the sand turns to glass. Flames spurt from the fissures, and Ino kicks him in the face, leaving a gap in his sand armor. They flee to battle at a later time after she rushes to her team. Shikamaru spoke to Ino, Ino, that was amazing, where did you learn all of this? She and her crew are jumping through trees, and she says, I learned it from Naruto-sama. He is really amazing. Choji questioned, what do we do now though? With a fox-like smile, Ino replies, we go to the tower. Shikamaru stated, we don't have the Earth Scroll. According to Ino, who is still smiling, yes we do. I grabbed it when I kicked Gaara in the face. In an attempt to focus, Shika shakes his head and says, wow, she is really amazing. I wonder if I can be like her. What am I thinking? I don't want to be like a girl, how troublesome. There is a group of people running for their life, and Naruto and Kasumi are on their trail. Like foxes poised to leap on their prey, they're both beaming. After jumping from Kasumi's back, Naruto kills a team from sand by coating his hand in lightning. He searches their pockets and discovers additional scrolls before saying, I wonder if I should have killed them. I mean, we are allies. Oh well, this is an exam and they signed up for this. Then he sees some flames in the distance and feels Ino's chakra spike. He smiles as he looks in her direction and says, well looky here. As she walks along him in her fox form, Kasumi remarks, it seems Ino-chan is really fighting that Gaara kid. Do you think he will kill her? He lashes out at Kasumi, saying, I believe in Ino, but if he does kill her, he can kiss his ass goodbye. As she left, she inquired, where to next? Their curiosity is answered as a scream reverberates near him. Naruto can sense how the chakra feels, similar to his own, when Kasumi sets off in that direction, but he cannot do it unless he has some sort of family. He exclaims excitedly, Kasumi-chan, you have to hurry, I think it is an Uzumaki clan member. After that, Kasumi rushes off in an orange blur, and in a matter of minutes, they reach the scream portion. They spot a huge bear coming, but it flees when it detects Kasumi since it knows it is in danger. With a kunai in hand, the redhead backs up and says, style back ID don't have a scroll. When Naruto sees her, all he can think of is how much her hair resembles his mother's. He says softly to her, "You are beautiful." She is taken aback by this, and his compliment just makes her blush. Karin points at him with her kunai and says, what I am not falling F for that. He then releases some of his chakra so she can feel it. "No, I am your family. I am an Uzumaki and I can sense it in your chakra, and if you sense you will feel it in my own chakra. It moves like water, slicing through the air like wind, and frequently emitting sparks as it dances around her in the forest." She senses the strength and density of his chakra. Karin approaches him a little and says, "You Uzumaki, you are also one." She rushes to him with joyful tears streaming down her cheeks as he opens his arms and says, "Yup, I'll be your new Oni-chan. Imoto-chan." His words, "Don't worry, it will be okay now. I'll keep you safe," are comforting, and he pats her back instead. She glances up at him and asks, "Oni-chan, I am in a different village. How will you keep me safe?" "You are an Uzumaki. My family." During the war, all Uzumaki who fled their homes were to return to the Leaf Village and become members, and that contract is still in session. He smiles as she opens her eyes. After saying, "So I count as a fleeing Uzumaki," she gives him a strong hug and throws her headband in a beaming smile. He is interrupted as he senses his kunai and gives Sakura a ping. "Okay, let's get going again." After saying, "Kasumi-chan, guard Karin, Sakura needs me," he vanishes in a burst of blue. Sakura appears to be wearing it. He sees Sakura on the ground, bleeding from her side, and Orochimaru clamping down on Sasuke's neck. Unaware of the other two, he comes beside her. His question was worried. "Sakura-chan, what happened?" She heals herself by saying, "We were ambushed by Orochimaru and a giant snake." Searching for him, Naruto questioned, "Where is that pale fucker at?" Sakura stood up and stated, "A strong wind jutsu blasted him away." Then he pulled out his moonlight sword and said, "Don't worry, I will take care of this while you heal yourself." He immediately rushes at Orochimaru, knocking him away from Sasuke with a forceful kick to the spine. He lifted the youngster and threw him to Sakura, who started tending to his wounds. The man, who was unhurt, added, "Kukuku Naruto-kun, it was very kind of you to join us. I was unsure if I would run into you." He was approaching from around a tree. After that, Naruto formed a single-handed ram sign, and blue lines appeared on his body before they disappeared and his chakra erupted, causing the trees to fly away and the ground to split. His blonde hair danced, his blue armor clicked, and his eyes started to sparkle with electricity, but the worst part was when his eyes started to sparkle with electricity. The smile that pulls at his mouth. Even though he was the container of the 9 tails, the snake Sanin was rather unnerved by this since he did not anticipate this from a genin. He dismisses this and makes an effort to make fun of him. His chakra is reaching that of Biju, surpassing that of the 3 tails and still growing. Seems the fox wants to play. "Are you going to really fight me, a cage-level ninja? Even if you go all out you cannot defeat me," he smiles as he says. The last portion of Naruto's position is when he yells, "I am still holding back, and I am no fox but the bird that catches the snake, the eagle that feeds your remains to my kids. I am something you can never hope to fathom, a Thunderbird with no equal." Orochimaru draws his blade in response. He charges at Chunin speeds to see if Naruto can keep up, saying, "A Thunderbird? Ha, you stupid child, you are nothing, let's see if you can match Sasuke-kun. Let's dance." He then charges faster, startling Orochimaru, who is then deeply slashed across the chest as a result of his fright. After coughing up blood, Orochimaru opens his lips and a new form of himself emerges. "Not bad, Naruto-kun, you shocked me for a second there, but it is all useless." As he prepares for the dance of his life, Naruto remarks, "You are just a piece of work. I have never seen someone do that before. But that just means I can keep cutting you and you will pop back out." Orochimaru prepares to battle again and charges at Jonin speeds this time, saying, he still wishes to fight. "I had hoped that would scare him off. I can't fight at full power without telling the whole village I am here." He is stunned once more and suffers further cuts as a result, causing him to shove another body out of his mouth. "This brat is getting on my nerves, now I will just kill him quickly." Knowing that he won't be able to keep up this time, he charges at high Anbu speeds. However, he notices that Naruto is constantly staring at him with a smile on his face. They clash blades as Naruto surges forward and launches an onslaught. Naruto spins away after saying, "Your steps are not strong enough." He then quickly slashes Orochimaru's back. He returns to inflict more misery on him, but his opponent turns and fights back. Naruto will not tolerate that. Orochimaru is approached from behind by a sealless clone. Orochimaru dodges in the hopes that the blonde's sword will slash Naruto, but he catches it in his other hand as the blonde throws it in the 14th dance boomerang. 13th dance twister. After that, Naruto rushes to Orochimaru and gives him numerous slashes before vanishing in a twister, leaving the snake injured and covered in blood. Naruto smiles at Orochimaru, who is once again shedding his skin, and asks, "Is this all you got? Maybe you should try something else." Naruto, shedding his skin, says, "I have killed you 3 times. What is going on, you pedo?" With venomous fangs poised to bite down on Naruto, snakes emerge from his arm as he utters the words, "You stupid brat, you are going to die," striking shadow snakes. As he does every day, Naruto cuts down the snakes and says, "Is this it? Enko-chan can dance better than this." A large snake slams down on Naruto as a shadow passes over him, but Naruto snatches it with one hand and throws it at the wide-eyed Orochimaru. Naruto then uses a jutsu without any hand signals and says, "Take your trash." A salvo of slashes and a grand slashing wind skill chop up the serpent in the trees behind Orochimaru, who dodges but is struck by some. He then goes through hand signals, saying, "Oh well, I already did what I wanted, so I will go. Damn, at this rate I won't be able to win without announcing my presence." He looks at the smoke cloud and concludes, "Wind-style great breakthrough. That will teach you to mess with me, boy." Because of his armor and remarkable defense, Naruto emerged from the smoke unscathed, saying, "That was some weak shit. Let me show you how to use Wind Fool." Wind-style Wind Dragon. Orochimaru, who is wide-eyed, is charged by a huge wind dragon that roars. Up to 15 dragons appear and charge the pale man as he yells, "I am not done yet." Wind-style Dragon's Frenzy. When they hit, there is a loud explosion and a little earthquake in the forest, which causes everyone to turn to face Naruto. Not even the enormous trees that once stood in the area where they fought remain. They have all been felled and fallen into the enormous hole. Naruto then turns away and approaches the wide-eyed Sakura, who was wearing a barrier seal to protect her and Sasuke, saying, "So he got away, the bastard." Sakura remarked, "Ni-san, that was amazing." She was observing Naruto, who remained unharmed. Naruto approaches to lower the barrier, but is halted when a blade passes through his chest. "Yes, we all know how badass I am." Sakura says, wide-eyed with fear, "NN Naruto N no. Foolish boy, never turn your back to your opponent." As Naruto vanishes in an explosion that hits Orochimaru square in the face, he remarks, "It seems you still want to keep dancing, but there is just no strength left in your step." Then, leaving the snake Sanin to suck his wounds, Naruto snatches Team 7 and takes off. "Why are we fleeing, N Naruto? He remains feeble. You can kill him," Sakura inquired bewilderedly. "He left before us since it was a clone of him, but we are not fleeing." He tells the female on his back, "I wasn't going all out, and he was too weak in his current state." "What about Sai?" "Wait," Sakura inquired. "Don't worry, he's following us on the ground. He must be attempting to spy on us because he's masking his chakra." Naruto tells her, "Don't trust him at all." "Okay bro." After that, she rests her head on his shoulder while Sasuke is being tugged by his leg and frequently knocked unconscious by his head hitting tree branches. Sai watches them in an attempt to learn more about them. As Sakura wakes up in the middle of the night, she notices Naruto snoring as if they are not in a forest that could kill them, and she gets a tick mark on her head, but she stops when she sees him sleeping on Kasumi with a redhead who she recognizes from the pictures he has shown them. Sasuke is sweating while he sleeps, and he occasionally grunts. Sakura tells herself that he must have put up some barrier seal and that's why he is sleeping like that. Since she has nothing to do, she simply goes back to sleep and waits for the morning to come, but she didn't notice Sai outside attempting to enter. A clone of Naruto is stomping a mud hole into a boy with spiky black hair, and a boy tied upside down is currently being beaten up in a taijutsu battle. Sakura is awakened by the sound of fighting in the morning, and she quickly runs outside the cave to see an ass whooping taking place. When Naruto gives the boy a final kick to the face, he adds, "Oh hey Sakura-chan, good morning to you." "What about me? Wait," Kin remarked while standing motionless and observing how severely her squad had been beaten. "How about you?" Naruto questioned the girl. Kin walked slowly toward him and said, "Well, I don't know what to do. I didn't want to fight you anyway, they just made me do it." Naruto tells her, "Oh well, just run away or something, I don't know what to tell you." "See, may I accompany you?" She looked down and asked, blushing a little. "Oh Kin-chan, if you wanted to be with me that's all you had to say." Naruto smiled and turned to Sakura, who rolled her eyes at knowing what he would do. He pulled her close to him. Kin blushed red at the way he was holding her and replied, "No, that is not what I meant." His attractive smile makes her flush until she hears him say, "How about I take you away from Orochimaru and you become my slave?" "Why would I do that? A slave?" She pushed away from him a little and asked. He tried to reassure her by saying, "It's not what you were thinking, I just want to make you a cute housemaid who serves the Uzumaki household." With a glimmer of hope in her eyes, Kin told him, "Well, if I do this, can you save my friend Tayuya? She will also become your slave, I promise." Naruto hugs her and rubs her red hair, saying, "Of course I will save her, just tell me what she looks like and I will get her when I can." He slung Kin over his shoulder, causing her to squeak, and said, "Let's go, Sakura-chan. Kin-chan. I have everything we need. Sai, get your pale ass out here before I kill you." He produces a water lance and tosses it at a tree, causing it to fall. Sai put on a false smile and remarked, "Don't do that again, dickless." When she witnesses Naruto and Haku having sex once, inner Sakura says to outer Sakura, "Oni-chan may be a lot of things but dickless is not it." A little blood spurts from her nose. He then takes off, but as an evil chakra explodes, Naruto turns to the cave and sees Sasuke emerge with a menacing smile. "Ha, whatever pale fucker, let's go. It feels great to have this power." Sasuke looks around at everyone who is preparing to depart and declares, "This is what I want and need to kill him." Sasuke looks up at Naruto and yells, "Hey loser, get down here and fight me right now." Naruto creates a clone and gives Kin to it, saying, "Hold on you guys, this idiot wants to fight." Naruto charges Sasuke, who confronts him head-on, saying, "Okay playboy, let's see if you can step with me." Sasuke throws a left jab, but Naruto takes it as if it were nothing and hits him in the lung, knocking the air out of his lungs. Naruto then drops and kicks him into the air, throwing him higher into the air with a flurry of punches. Crashing waves, water style. Naruto reaches a tree and looks down at the boy, saying, "Here comes a new move, Swanton Bomb." Waves emerge out of thin air and crash down into Sasuke, sending him to the ground. "Sakura-chan, come count the pin." Naruto then leaps from the tree, flips, landing back first onto Sasuke, and covers him. Sakura then counts to 3 while wearing a referee's suit. Naruto Uzumaki is the winner. She yells while raising his hand, and as she takes his picture, dazzling flashes in the trees appear. All you can hear are the girl's shouts and laughter as he picks her up and takes off, followed by his clone. "Okay, now that is done, let's head to the tower and get out of here." Anko and Iruka are standing there when the gang appears at the tower and enters a room with words on it, but Naruto ignores them and simply unravels the scrolls and throws them at the wall and a plume of smoke. "How come it took you so long, Naruto-kun?" She gives him a lengthy kiss and says, "I was getting lonely in bed." He smiled and added, "Sorry, Anko-chan. I was just looking for a good dance partner." "So, did you locate one?" Anko inquired. "Believe this, we ran into Orochimaru and he danced a little bit but he lost his step towards the end." "You battled him too?" After checking on Naruto, Anko gave him a hug and asked, "Are you okay? Did he bite you?" "No, Anko-chan bit Sasuke, but he didn't even touch me." He pulled her into his arms and kissed her head, saying, "But now that I see another curse mark, I will be able to remove yours now that I will have more knowledge about the mark." Iruka tried to pull himself together and said, I hate to interrupt, but you need to go to the Hokage office and tell him what happened." Pointing to Kin and Karin, Naruto adds, "Okay, I will do that, I have to tell him about my new friends." The ancient Hokage was at his desk shuffling papers as usual when Naruto kicked down his makeshift office. Naruto entered, followed by Karin and Kin, and said, "Old man, we have to talk, I got some major news to tell you." "Old man, you won't believe what I discovered in the forest," Naruto said. "Oh, these 2 young females wouldn't be involved, would they?" Looking up from his paperwork, Hiruzen said. Pushing Kin to the Hokage, Naruto stated, "Yay, and also Orochimaru is in the exams and is after Sasuke, but Kin here can give you more on his plans." Kin blushed at being placed in such a position. "What else can Kin tell me?" Hiruzen inquired. Hesitantly, fearing that she would be killed for working for him, she answered, "I used to work for him." "All right, so by used to, I take it that you wish to defect and become a part of this village?" Amused, Hiruzen smoked his pipe in response. The girl flushed when she said aloud, "Yes, but I will be Naruto-sama's slave." Oh, that is a good way to safely move to our village and protect you from the council's evils. The elderly Hokage laughed like a pervert and wrote something in a notebook that said, "Tips for Ika Ika. We may conclude that he conquered you and claimed you as his reward." Karin replied, growing irritated with the lustful Hokage. "Okay, can we get to what Orochimaru has planned?" "Yeah, we can." He gestured with his hand, and they bowed before departing. "Anbu, leave us for a moment." "Will that guy from outside also remain here?" Karin looked out the window and questioned. After a moment of surprise, the elderly man sighed and said, "Jiraiya, you can come in now, you are busted." The window suddenly opened, allowing a tall, white-haired elderly man to enter the room. "How were you able to sense me being captured?" Jiraiya asked shyly. "I am a sensor made by Uzumaki." Karin remarked somewhat triumphantly, "You can't hide from me." Kin tried to suppress her laughter as Naruto replied, "But yet you still couldn't beat a wild bear." He was halted when Karin struck him in the stomach. "Ah. When you punched my armor, what did you anticipate happening?" Naruto chuckled even harder. Her back was to him, and she said, "You asshole." Jiraiya became serious and continued, "Well anyways Kin, could you please tell me what my foolish teammate has done now?" "During the exam finals, he intends to demolish the village. He'll use sand and sound to assault. His plot to have you assault them is thwarted by their leader, who believes he is an idiot. But I would exercise caution because he never said no." In a distressed tone, Hiruzen said, "Wow, that is bad. If he gets Iwa, we will have a hard time fighting back." "Yes, that is just the outer works of the plan," Kin said. "Is there more?" Shocked, Jiraiya asked. "Lord Third, he wants to kill you the most." A little concerned for her new commander, Kin remarked, "He will trap you in a barrier and revive the first, second, and fourth Hokage to kill you." Concerned for his grandfather's safety, Naruto murmured, "Damn, that is not good." "He will have Gaara, who is the host for the One-Tails rampage in the village, along with giant snake summons destroy the village," Kin responded. "That's not good. Considering his new family and other members of the Red Light he loves for," Naruto remarked, "that will cause mass damage and chaos all over the village." "I will inform the council about this and we will come up with a plan to overcome this," Hiruzen stated. "Yay, and you should most likely start to train again for the fight that is to come, along with all the clan heads," Naruto replied with seriousness. The serious Hiruzen remarked, "Yes, you are right, we will need all our strength if we are to overcome this. Gaara and the upcoming huge snakes can be eliminated by me. In an attempt to assist as much as possible," Naruto stated, "my summons will take care of them along with some clones I can enhance with Kasumi's chakra." "All right, that's a really smart idea." Hiruzen nodded in agreement and continued, "You can have them concentrate on both defeating the ninja who will be on foot and getting the civilians to safety." "You have a contract?" "Hold on." Shocked, Jiraiya asked. According to Naruto, "Yes, I do." Jiraiya said, "Show me." She wanted to know if it was powerful enough. After he goes through hand signals and a cloud of smoke, a small winged Thunderbird is called forth and lands on Naruto's shoulder. Naruto rubs the bird until it leans into his hand and says, "You see, I have the Thunderbird contract." "How did you obtain their fabled contract?" Confused that this boy had the contract, Jiraiya inquired. "With ease," Naruto stated, "Well, it is an Uzumaki clan summoning contract." Karin asked, her eyes full of stars, "Really, then can I sign it too?" Karin's eye twitched as Naruto rubbed her head and remarked, "You sure can." "I'm not a canine," she struck him over the head. "So, are you also aware of your family?" Hesitantly, Jiraiya asked. "Yes, I am aware of my dad, if you were wondering." Naruto glared at him, making Jiraiya perspire a little. "I also know that you were close to him and could have been here for me," he replied. "I apologize. I was always traveling and spying for the village." In an attempt to soothe the irate teenager, Jiraiya remarked, "I wouldn't have been able to properly care for you and fulfill my duties for the village." "Why didn't you visit me when you came back to the village to report to the old man?" Jiraiya lowered his head as he had no justification for it, but Naruto continued to rage. "I no longer give a damn." With a rail of rage, Naruto remarked, "I took care of myself back then anyway." Knowing that this would anger him, Jiraiya added, "I can make it up to you by training you for the month." "No thank you, you have better things to work on than training someone who doesn't need your training," Naruto replied. "I am a legendary ninja, what? The strongest in the village," Jiraiya replied, not thinking he had simply been rejected. Naruto chuckled, then paused and let out 5 tails of Kasumi's chakra, causing the floor and windows to crack. enclosing his body in a red cloak as the 5 tails behind him emerge. Good thing I put up that seal or the room would be flooded with ninjas. Seeing Jiraiya about to apply a seal to him, Naruto remarked, I am still in control. How can you have so much control? Hiruzen inquired, astonished as well. Naruto grinned and explained, it's because Kasumi-chan is my girlfriend. Is that the name of the 9 tails? Is the 9 tails a female? Jiraiya uttered those words, stunned by what he was hearing. He released the chakra after saying, yes, so call her by her name when you are in my presence. When Jiraiya remarked, I am pretty sure I can still beat you though. Naruto crossed his arms and remarked, I just beat your teammate in the forest while I was holding back. No way. Jiraiya's answer was Naruto held out his hand and replied, whatever, do you have the key to my seal? My dad said I would need it to master all of her chakra. How did he tell you? Inquired Jiraiya. He sealed some of his chakra in the seal and talked to me after we had a fight. Naruto grinned as he shared this information. Who won? Hiruzen said, a little intrigued. Well, I did, but that is only because he wanted to test my strongest jutsu against his small Rasengan. He should have known that would happen. What was he thinking of challenging an Uzumaki in a jutsu contest? Naruto continued to giggle at this. Dropping his pipe, Hiruzen remarked, wow, I wish we had all been able to see that. Actually, you should be glad it took place in my head. If the fight was outside, the village would have been destroyed by my final attack. Smirked Naruto. Kin exclaimed in awe of her new master, wow, Naruto-sama, you are really strong. The girl blushed a little when Naruto smiled and said, you bet I am Kin-chan. Well, I wanted to take you on a training trip for 3 years to help you get stronger and avoid a group of S-rank criminals after you. Jiraiya was being serious. Let me guess, you were gonna train me in Kasumi's chakra, Naruto replied. Yes. Jiraiya replied, oblivious to the issue. That is stupid and would be a waste of time. A group of S-rank ninja are after people with Biju. You think they won't have a way to negate the use of her tailed beast chakra? Naruto continued to cross his arms. Jiraiya wiped his head and said, well, that makes sense. With his fist clenched, Naruto declared, I will go on a training trip with the other Jinchuriki and hunt down this group. Naruto looked at Karin and said, I would like it if you came with me, Karin. It would make things much easier to find them and you can be our medic. Karin looked down and remarked, I would, but I am not that strong. Naruto pulled the redhead into an embrace and said, don't worry, we will all train together. Jiraiya remarked, that is a good plan, they won't be ready for that. You should get more information on them and send it to me and we will go get them before they get us. What is the name of the group? Naruto asked him as he turned around. The name of the group is called Akatsuki and I will get you that information, just be careful, they are really powerful, answered Jiraiya. Naruto extended his hand once more and said, okay, now the key to the seal. I am in an exam after all. All right, let me call him. Jiraiya used hand signals to call forth the frog that was in possession of the seal's key. Jiraiya pointed to Naruto and remarked, Garatora, nice to see you. I am here so you can give the kid the key to his seal. He then leaps inside Naruto's seal, saying, he looks a little too young but I can feel his power. I hope you know what you are doing. Naruto stated as he left the room with the girls, okay, after this exam I'm going to Uzu and train in mastering Kasumi-chan's chakra and other things that will win us this upcoming war. Well, sensei, it's clear to me that he adores the second Hokage. I assumed that he would adore his dad. Did you share any tales about your sensei with him? Gazing at the elderly man, Jiraiya inquired. When he was younger, I did a little bit, but when I gave him books on him, he frequently read up on him. He even once painted his face to resemble my sensei's insignia. He laughed when he recalled it. Well, I'm leaving because I have work to do. Remember to train again as well, Jiraiya exclaimed as she leapt out the window. I wonder if I'll survive this or if this will be my last fight. If that's the case, I ought to put my succession and will in writing. He did so and resumed his paperwork. Naruto, Kin, and Karin were making their way through the tower's hallways to their designated room. All right, girls, I'll send you to the house where you'll be with the rest of my family. Kin, you can dress like a sexy maid in the maid quarter. He hugged them both and whisked them to the house. Karin, you can choose a room, but make sure to ask for assistance if any of you need it. After taking off his armor, he puts on a black cape with red flames licking the bottom, red leggings, and black ninja sandals. Okay, let's see what this tower has to offer. This is not the Kumo team that was staring at Hinata-chan as if they wanted to kidnap her, he says as he heads to the cafeteria and notices the sand team there with the Kumo group. He goes to the counter and notices that there is food for everyone, so he takes some and moves to sit by the sand team, hoping she will be alright. He glanced at the two lads and said, "Hello again, my sandy pals. It is nice to see you again, my desert rose." He grabbed Temari's hand and kissed it, causing her to flush. Temari loathed herself for appearing weak in front of this attractive hunk. Hello Naruto-kun. Kankuro switched places with his sister and said, "Don't touch my sister, you jerk." With a placid expression on her face, Gaara replied, "Hello again, Uzumaki-san. Mother still wants your blood." Naruto questioned his inner demon, "Is there any way we can enter Kasumi-chan's head and speak with Shukaku?" Kasumi responded to him from the seal, saying, "Yes, Naruto-kun, but you have to be making contact with him." He held his fist out in front of him for Gaara to touch, saying, "Come on, Sandman, bump fist with me so we can speak in private." "Okay, that sounds easy enough." Slowly, Gaara raised his fist, and the two of them, together with their tailed beast, were dragged into an inner plane. Shukaku yelled fiercely, "What do you want, you stupid fox?" In her fox form, with Naruto perched on her head, Kasumi spoke the words, "Don't be like that little brother, I just want to see you again." He fired a wind bullet at them, saying, "I don't want to see you, just go and die along with your stupid human." "Why are you so angry?" Naruto created a lightning ball and threw it at the wind ball, canceling his strike. "You weren't harmed by me." "You did just that. You were born," said the irate Tanuki. Naruto remarked, "Kasumi-chan, I can feel another soul inside him." Kasumi's eyebrows narrowed as she continued, "Yes, this close I can also feel it." Naruto jumped close to Gaara, who was being silent, and declared, "I will get rid of it." "What are you doing, Uzumaki-san?" Gaara remarked, not displaying his fear at seeing two Biju. He makes a ram sign and uses his chakra to write a seal, saying, "I am trying to help you." Evil soul unsealing in the Uzumaki style. A ghostly old guy emerges when he slams his fist down on the head of the sand spirit. "No, put me back," cried the ghost. Shukaku yelled fiercely, "You old bag of dust, just die already." The old man then leaves when Naruto destroys the seal, causing Shukaku to exhale deeply. "Thank you, stupid human, now can you also let me out this seal?" Naruto patted his head and said, "Nice try, stupid raccoon, but Gaara will need your help in the future. I will also fix the seal, making it more comfortable for the both of you and make sure you become friends. I know you both need it." Naruto returned to Kasumi. Gaara said, "Thank you, Uzumaki." Naruto waved to Gaara and vanished with him, saying, "Just call me Naruto, we are friends and brothers in arms." When they returned outside, they remained there until Gaara fainted, causing his brother to worry. "No need to panic, I only fixed his seal and helped out his sandy friend, he is only sleeping." Naruto looked up. "Thank you so much, Naruto-kun." Temari hugged him, blushing at her own behavior. The crew from Mist was envious that they couldn't do the same when Naruto vanished in a water pillar, saying, "Don't worry, just get strong and look out for him." After 3 days after helping Gaara, Naruto felt as though time in the tower was moving slowly. More teams entered the tower, and there were a few near-fight experiences. Along with Ino, Hinata, and his adorable younger sisters, he actually spoke with Temari more. When he placed the seals up, he spent some time working on Kasumi's chakra and did some light practice in his room. He had to confront his dark nature, which put him at a snag. Now that he was using more of her chakra, he could hear tiny murmurs. He heard a voice of darkness and hatred say, "Wake up, time to kill." Naruto rested his head back on the pillow and said, "Listen here, you knock off. You are not going to be waking me out of my sleep just because you have homicidal problems." Naruto's evil side retorted, You are not reacting like I wanted you to." Naruto, who was still lying down, remarked, "Well, what did you think? You are me and I am you, so this should not be a surprise." "Well, when you put it like that, I guess you are right, but I am all of your negative things, so I am supposed to do this until we meet and fight for your body." The evil voice responded. "Yay, that is not gonna happen. We are not going to fight because we would end up killing each other, but I am also not going to try and talk you into changing your ways." Naruto was lying on his back, demonstrating that he is sleeping naked. He laughed at the last line, "Well damn, way to mess up my fun, you bastard." Dark Naruto said somewhat melancholy at the end, "I only started talking to you now because I am getting weaker due to all the positive things going on in your life now and I am slowly disappearing." "You mean our life? I know how you must be feeling. You don't want to be forgotten or ignored and you want my attention, Naruto replied. I tell you what, when this is over how about we do whatever needs to be done in order to use Kasumi-chan's chakra? Naruto replied with a smile. Fine, it is better than just being stuck in your mind with nothing to do other than watch what you do. Dark Naruto responded. See ya, he said as he walked away, laughing evilly. He said aloud, okay, you have to teach me that. He received more laughter in return. After listening to the chat, Kasumi said, okay Naruto-kun, now that you are done talking to yourself, get up before the girls come in and get you. A slight chill crept up his spine as he said, you are right about that. If Sakura-chan came in here and saw me still sleeping I would be in trouble. He was recalling the last time he had not woken up. He had to avoid blows that caused structures to collapse. In her fox form, Kasumi emerged from the seal and perched atop his head. Kasumi yipped out of his skull and said, let's go, my love. We have people who need their asses beat. Rubbing his chin thoughtfully, Naruto asks, what should I wear today? Armor for heavy combat or my cape for fast and precise combat? Since they are inside and he wanted to be quick today, he chose the cape. He dons black anbu pants and a long-sleeved black shirt. Wearing black anbu sandals and a black haori with red flames at the bottom, he steps outside. Hello Naruto-kun. He felt his head inserted into his boozie as he rotated it. The muffled response emerged from between her chest and read, Anko-chan, I think you should greet me like this all the time. Anko grinned sensuously and replied, well, we can always do more to make this a better morning. Naruto turned around and flapped his cloak, saying dismissively, as much as I would like to do that, why don't you act like a sensei and take me to where everyone is? She took hold of his hand and dragged him along the corridors till they reached a sizable combat zone and everyone was on the rails. Okay, come with me this way. She turned and kissed him, saying, go stand on the rail and wait for your name to be called. She then disappeared after saying, good luck, Naruto-kun. I have money on you, so win it all for me. He can see that some of the team members are injured or not entirely recovered and will be easy pickings when he makes his way to the others. The sensei converse with one another and, if necessary, give their genin motivational speeches. The Hokage then showed in and started talking about the tests, but Naruto wasn't paying attention because he was thinking about what he could train for or who would be a challenge for him. Naruto asked the fox that was contentedly perched on his head, Kasumi-chan, do you think we can do some transformation like the other perfect Jinchuriki? Yes Naruto-kun, but you have to face your darkness first and then come for my chakra, but considering how you are chatting it won't be hard. Yay, I know he is a cool guy once you get past his evil tendencies. You do realize you are complimenting yourself, right? Yes, what are you trying to say? He chuckled as he recalled witnessing her exaggerate herself, saying, I saw you in the mirror talking about how you are the strongest and your fur is to die for. The fox struck his head quickly and replied, you said that you won't bring that up again. Okay, I'm sorry, it was just too funny to forget. When a fabric falls and a massive screen appears on the board, Naruto is yanked out of his reverie. Uchiha Sasuke versus Akado Yoroi. In attempt to avoid the conflict, everyone else walked back up to the rails. Kakashi patted Sasuke on the back and said, you got this Sasuke, don't let me down. HN. As he watched the battle, he could see that Sasuke was struggling. He should have been able to destroy this guy, but it appears that the curse mark was affecting his ability to fight effectively. This must have been what the snake pissant wanted, because Yoroi took his chakra and forced him to use the curse mark's power. And next up we have Shino Aburmai versus Zaku Abumi. Since Zaku was already weak from Naruto's ass slapping in the forest, the duel was primarily a long range, who could sneak who battle. Naruto could see that Shino was a brilliant ninja, but that his lack of close quarters combat skills would be his undoing. Masumi Tsurugi versus Kankuro. Everyone laughed when Naruto exclaimed, hey makeup boy, if you win I will give you a coupon for a shop that sells makeup for people like you. It's war paint, Kankuro, flushed with shame, shouted back. Yay, whatever, just get down there and fight with you stupid dolls. Go down here and tell me straight out, you bastard. He winked at Tamari, who blushed at being called out in such a way. Nah, I would rather spend some alone time with your hot sister. Most people were genuinely astonished by his skill with puppets and his ability to blend in with the background during the ensuing altercation. Gazing at the puppet boy, Naruto remarked, wow, it seems you are somewhat talented. Kankuro said with a proud puff of his chest, well, I am the up-and-coming genius of our village. Naruto returned to his position by Sakura, saying, yay if you say so. I'm hoping for a match. Naruto leaned against the wall and said, I have places to be. Sakura comfortingly patted his back and reassured him, don't worry, I am sure you will be up soon. Will you prepare dinner for me once more? Your cooking is excellent, Naruto remarked. She pressed her fingers together and said, really was it good? Yes, everyone had a great time the last time. I believe you nearly killed Haku the previous time, so please don't create those army pills again. Sakura put a checkmark on her head and added, shut it, that was my first time making those. Omoi vs Naruto. Uzumaki. Naruto then leaps to the ground and uses his wind affinity to float down just in time, saying, finally, it's my turn. He is interrupted by a Karui striking him in the head. Oh man, what if this guy kills me and then kills my family and then war breaks? She ejected him, saying, just get your ass down there and fight. Omoi muttered from the ground, dude, why do the girls with flat chests always cause the most trouble? Naruto sympathized, saying, I feel you man, they always resort to violence to get their point across. Hey. With their fists raised in the air and irate expressions on their faces, Sakura and Karui gave the yell. Omoi swung his blade into a posture and stated, all right, let's leave them alone for the time being. Let's dance. A clone approaches from behind Omoi and tries to slash, but he narrowly dodges. They dash off toward each other, leaving dust trails in their wake. They clash blades and struggle, but everyone can tell Naruto is winning if the smile on his face is any indication. Kasumi-chan, this is going to get messy. Are you able to wait on the bleachers? The fox rises and leaps into Hinata's arms when he speaks to her, causing the girl to grin and start petting her. Naruto turned back to Omoi and stated, all right, let's get back to it. Because Naruto was physically stronger than him, he charges back at him and takes slashes that Omoi blocks but struggles with. Omoi then covered his blade in lighting chakra in an attempt to zap Naruto and his blade. Slashing lightning. Omoi repeatedly slices his sword in the hopes of severing Naruto with the lightning's razor-sharp edges. Naruto replied, easy. Wind cutting. That is not all you can do, is it? Naruto says, lowering his sword to neutralize his lightning blades and blasting him with wind. A heated dance of blades ensues, with sparks flying off the blades and the sound of grunts and skin being cut. Naruto goes for a diagonal slash, ready to cut him down, but Omoi counters and slides his blade along Naruto's, sending more sparks flying. Not even close. Omoi then charges back, and Naruto confronts him head-on. Then, avoiding the swing that would have severed his head, Naruto slashes him vertically, leaving a large cut across the front of Omoi's chest. You dance well, was Naruto's cool response, as he continued to smile at Omoi. Gosh, I never imagined he could be both strong and quick. This cut aches a lot. I'm hoping not to bleed out. Stan's Ibiki stood by Anko, looking pleased, and remarked, damn Anko, this kid is a whiz with the blade. With delight in her pupil, Anko answered, yeah, he even beat me using that style. What kind of fashion is that? Hate inquired. Let me be the first to say that it's known as the Moonlight Sword style, he remarked. She shuddered when she recalled fighting him with that blade. That shit is scary. I recognized the familiarity. With a start, Hate remarked, I am happy I get to see it. That style is legendary. Recalling his combat on the bridge, Kakashi remarked, yeah, he defeated 2 of the 7 swordsmen with the style. Hate looked more vigorously at the battle and declared, if he has it mastered he will win this fight no matter what. The arena. When we return to the battle, we see Naruto with a cut on his chest from their encounter, Omoi with even more wounds than before, and the earth with multiple cuts and splits from the intensity of the blows. The extremely panting Kumo ninja, who was hardly able to stand, remarked, hey man, I can't keep up anymore, can we end this? As Naruto prepared to draw his blade, he remarked, sure we can, and because I respect your strength with the blade, allow me to show you a technique of the Moonlight Sword style. Omoi used the same charging lighting in his last attack. Only the Jonin and those above saw the two disappear, and when they were seen by everyone once more, they were on opposite sides of one another. So it seems his last attack reached me. Naruto muttered, glancing down at the gash on his torso, as blood spurted from Omoi and he slumped to the ground. He wiped the blood off his blade and replaced it in its sheath until it clicked. 38th Dance Marionettes, Naruto stated. Naruto Uzumaki is the winner. A burst of applause followed Hate's statement, and the medics hurried to pick up Omoi. Naruto approached the stands and received applause from the crowd. J-job Naruto-kun, GG great. Kasumi fell off when Hinata added, I have some medicine for you to help your cut. She bowed her head to conceal her blush. He grinned at the girl, whose face was as red as a tomato, and said, "Thank you Hinata-chan, but you will have to put the medicine on for me because my arms hurt." She approached him, put the medication on her fingers, and then rubbed it on his open chest wound, saying, "Oh okay NN Naruto-kun." She started to get even redder, and steam started to come out of her ears, until she was unable to handle it any longer and passed out. The last thing she uttered before passing out was, "En Naruto-kun see chest." Naruto looked at the women who flushed and said, "Well Kuranai, I think you need to take your student's place and finish what she started." She looked away and muttered, What I am not doing that. Stop acting that way. You owe me, or do you not remember when you wanted me to lick the— He is stopped when Kuranai emerges in front of him, blushing profusely. The females were envious, even the stoic Samui, and all the boys had nosebleeds. She blushed at all the attention, but she continued, or else she would reveal her sex life to everyone. Shut up, I will rub the stupid medicine on you. She then did just that, rubbing it on his chest. He kissed her on the lips and said, "Thank you, Kuranai-chan. I have things to do, so I'll see you all at home." He halted as he noticed that Naruto had vanished in a burst of blue. "Wait, Naruto, you can't go." He lowered his head at that. "You know, sometimes I don't think he respects my position as Hokage." "You simply become aware of that." Anko laughed at him, saying, "He calls you old man and just walks into your office whenever he feels like it." Compound Uzumaki. "I've returned home," Naruto yelled as he entered the room. "Hello Naruto-kun." Tsunami approached him and kissed him, and he instantly returned the kiss. "Why are you coming home so early? You should be at the examinations." She raised an eyebrow in perplexity. Naruto walked to the kitchen to get a drink and said, "I just got done fighting and I decided to leave because I have to pack for my trip." Tsunami put her hands on her hips and stood her ground, saying, "What about your friends? They will want your support, so you should go back." "But why? They can manage the fights since they are strong enough." Tsunami stated in a lovely voice, "Naruto-kun, go back or no ramen for a month." "There are moments when you can be so harsh. At the very least, can I see Rukia-chan?" Naruto said, "I'm heading to the backyard," but she clutches the back of his coat and pulls him back. Tsunami tried to reprimand him, but Naruto wasn't really listening, so she responded, "No, if you see her you will want to stay with her all day long and then never go back." With a check mark on her head, Tsunami inquired. With a cheerful tone, the blonde answered, "Yes I was." He smiled at her, which only made her angrier. "What did I say next?" Tsunami clasped her arms beneath her chest and uttered those words. "I love you." She must have had some kind of ninja training because the way she swings that pan is going to kill me one day. Naruto said, getting up and beginning to fly back towards the tower. The next thing he knew, he was standing outside the compound with a lump on his head. The arena. Back in the arena, more fights had developed, but none had been as good as Naruto's thus far. Sakura had lost to Shikamaru because she was too confident that she would simply crush him, even though she had great strength and intelligence to keep him moving and prevent him from coming up with a plan. "Hinata, you can do this, okay?" Kuranai gave her a cozy hug. Naruto returned to find that the next match was between Hinata and her cousin, and the girl was so terrified that she was willing to die. She spoke more confidently, but you could still feel the fear in her eyes as she stammered, Thank you sensei." Floating down, Naruto murmured, "Hinata, I know that is not fear I see." "En Naruto-kun I." She stopped as she felt a hand. "You shouldn't be afraid, Hinata. It will only make you feel weaker in this battle." The girl nodded, indicating that she was paying attention. "Remember that the will of fire burns bright," he said, adding, "You trained and put in just as much work as everyone else, so don't let fear control you." She nods, and everyone can see how motivated and fearless she is now. It will give you the power you need to surpass your limits and defeat whatever enemy stands in front of you. But remember, power is not simply will, power is the ability to make things happen. Oh, one more thing. He rips the jacket right off her body, causing her to yell and cover herself. "You don't need this to weigh you down." She leaps down with a determined look, saying, "Now get down there and kick his ass. I am aware that you will not genuinely pay attention to that failure. Like you, his fate was predetermined." Neji smirked as he attempted to shatter her heart. Hinata sat in her position, prepared for war, and stated, more seriously than anybody had ever seen her, "Just shut up and fight me." Neji frowned and prepared to fight back, saying, "You are a failure, it won't make a difference." Combat. The two then charge at one another, hurling blows intended to inflict damage and simultaneously shut off the chakra points. During the entire battle of blows, Hinata managed to land a good number of hits, more than Neji can claim he is proud to have allowed to strike him. However, this does not mean the Hyuga was unscathed. She was struck in the arms and shoulder. Your chakra points have been closed off by me. Now, what are you going to do? Failure, Neji stated in an attempt to make fun of her. I'll continue fighting because that's my ninja style. I don't give up or run. Naruto and the rest of Hinata's pals in the stands both smile, and Rock Lee even starts to encourage her before Naruto does. You will die here, girl. Hinata then rushes back at him, surprising him with her quick speed. She hits his chest, knocking the wind out of his lungs, sending him to his knees before kicking him in the face, sending him flying. So what, coward? What's wrong? Are you unable to continue dancing? Hinata mimicked her not-so-secret crush and smirked as she stated this. Yeah, from the rails, Naruto yelled. I taught her that. Like a proud father, Naruto is crying as he sees his only child succeed. Standing behind Naruto, Shino remarked, Naruto-san, I don't think her clan would appreciate you corrupting their heir. They won't do anything, so who cares? If anything, I'm aiding their self-destructive clan. You mean it's destroying itself? Asuma inquired. The side branches are being treated like slaves by the main branch, and this situation only gets worse with time. Remembering what had transpired, Naruto remarked, if we are not careful we might have a repeat of the Uchiha massacre on our hands. They fell silent and returned their attention to the battle that had gone back to Neji's side. The kidnapping only made things worse by giving the leader of the side branch to them. Hinata was on her knees, panting heavily, and her lips were bleeding. She looked at Naruto, who merely grinned and nodded. I can't keep up, I am done for. Neji Hyuga is the winner. As fate foretold, I prevailed, and here you are on the ground looking like a failure. With a smug grin, Neji remarked, don't fight your fate, just accept it. Neji, you appear to be battling your destiny more than any other member of our clan. Always attempting to master the main branch's methods. Looking at her cousin with a sorrowful expression, Hinata remarked, it seems like you just can't accept the fact that you were born in the side branch. Stop talking. You have no idea about fate. Neji is ready to kill Hinata, but the Jonin are too slow to stop him. I am cursed with this life. Clang. And Naruto, you must calm down. The Hokage murmured, pushing off Naruto, whose eyes were red with slits and his whiskers were bigger. That's what sounded off in the arena. Naruto is seen in a sword lock with the Hokage of all people, and it appears he is having trouble holding back the irate blonde. As they traded blows with the Hokage's staff, Naruto murmured, I am perfectly calm. Just move and let me cut him down. Naruto answered calmly. It was incorrect to remark, if you do then you are going to be disqualified. Hinata wouldn't want that for you. Naruto quickly accelerated and blitzed the Hokage, passing him directly in front of the terrified Hyuga. RR rotation. The boy began to spend, and just as Naruto was ready to draw his sword and slay him, a fox kicked him away. In front of him, Kasumi, who was the size of a mature horse, stated, Naruto-kun, you need to calm down or you will be in serious trouble with the village. The genin was trembling and behind the sensei, and the two stared at each other for a while, their red-slitted eyes staring back at each other. Chakra poured from the two, causing the arena to tremble and the ground beneath their feet to crack. The Jonin were alert and ready for anything to happen. Oh no, Kasumi Ne-chan is ready to fight, and her mate is ready too, said the foreign ninja, who were startled that the child had battled the Hokage and was now releasing all of this chakra. Your squad is ready to faint, so we should depart, the Nibi remarked inside Yugito's thoughts. Holding on to the railing due to the shaking, Karui exclaimed, holy shit, just how strong is this guy? With wide eyes, Samui held the rail and remarked, that is cool. Inside Gaara's mind, Shikaku remarked, that kid has some real balls standing up to Kasumi like that. Are you afraid, Mom? I am a man, stop calling me that, it's weird. Sorry. Kankuro told his sister, Tamari, if this kid is involved, I think the invasion is a bust. From behind her fan, Tamari said, yes, we shouldn't have gone with it in the first place. Back on the arena floor, the tension had only increased, and just as it appeared that they would leap at one another, Naruto got up, sheathed his sword, and approached Hinata, who was shielded by a barrier he had erected. He disengaged the seal, took her hand, and grinned at her. Hinata gazed into his blue eyes, which she adored, and said, did I do well, and Naruto-kun? All he could do was grin at her. They both laughed when he said, you were amazing and I loved when you used my line. The medics arrived to take her, and he wished her well. When he regained consciousness, everyone was sweating, including the hiding Orochimaru, and the weaker children fainted. No, this boy cannot be allowed to live. He will mess up the plan, they said. When the youngster in his thoughts spoke, his thoughts ceased. I will send Gurren after him because she has never let me down. Naruto turned to face the trembling Hyuga and stated, you better hope we don't fight or you will without a doubt not make it out of the match in one piece. He then went to the hospital room to keep an eye on Hinata. According to the sickly proctor, now let's get back to the matches. Temari vs Tenten. Tenten quickly used her exceptional speed and swordsmanship to charge the Sand Kunoichi, preventing Temari from moving too far and using her fan to fire her wind jutsu. Feeling a little depressed with the way she and Naruto just behaved toward one another, Kasumi watched Ino abuse Karui with her staff and fire jutsu from the stands. I apologize for my behavior, Kasumi-chan. For a moment, I lost my temper, Naruto stated, using the mental link. Don't be alarmed, Naruto-kun. Kasumi cheered with a sly smile, it's okay, I just needed you to calm down before you did something you'll regret. Can you tell me what happens during the rest of the matches I am with Hinata-chan? Sure thing, just don't do anything to the helpless girl. Who exactly do you believe I am? I will not exploit her in that manner. I am aware that I am only playing tricks on you. I'll see you later, she said, cutting the connection and returning her attention to the last game. Rock Lee vs Gaara, Canon. Okay, all those who won come down and listen up for who you will be fighting in the finals, remarked Hate. First up we have Naruto Uzumaki vs Shino vs Samui. These will be the matches for the first round of the finals and those who win the first round will move on to the second round where you will fight those who have not fought yet. Hate spoke by coughing. Tenten looked sorrowfully at her partner and said, Neji, I feel so sorry for you. He simply laughed and turned to go, saying that he would always prevail. Her vivacious sensei approached her and said, don't worry about it, my youthful student, he will learn the hard way. I know Guy-sensei, it was nice knowing him, Guy said, his eyes wide with fear at the thought of losing one of his students. Tenten, you don't think Naruto will kill him, do you? To a buddy, however. As Tenten recalled how Naruto was always watching out for her, she said, maybe if Hinata asks him not to, but still Naruto does not take kindly to someone who deliberately hurts someone close to him. One time at the orphanage some kid hit me because he said I look like a fat panda. I told Naruto and he went and beat him up so bad he was sent to the Hokage office. When Guy heard the narrative, he started crying because of anime. The only thing that made Tenten perspire was how her sensei took things personally. Such youthful actions. Naruto-kun's flames were always an inferno. After Yugito took her team, they discussed their exam preparation as they departed the arena. With a contemplative look on her face, Yugito added, Samui, I want you to be careful in your fight with the Uzumaki. Samui earthed to Samu. Samui remarked, emerging from her reverie, huh? Karui remarked next to her friend, why are you so spaced out? That normally isn't like you. In a monotone, Samui stated, I was just thinking about something. Karui and Yugito struck Omoi in the head with their irate expressions when he said, I'm considering ways to reduce those enormous boozies. Shut your mouth, you perv. From the ground, Omoi rubbed his head and said, see what I mean, always hitting me. That Naruto guy was right. Recalling his sword skills, Karui exclaimed, speaking of him, that kid is crazy strong. He beat the Hokage in a Kenjutsu duel like it was nothing. At the end, Karui grinned at her teammate and said, not to mention how he completely outperformed you in your battle. Omoi got back up and walked to their hotel with his squad, saying, yeah, he had me beat the whole time. I could tell he was holding back on me and he still beat me effortlessly. In an attempt to support her friend, Karui remarked, you at least got that last strike on him. Omoi pointed off the details of his battle, saying, look at me. I have bandages all over my body, I am walking with a limp. All I did was cut him twice and he was fighting like it was nothing. Yea, you are correct, I could also see how he was holding back on you if the display with the Hokage and Fox was anything to go by, Samui said. Angry that an animal had more chakra than her, Karui exclaimed, what was with that fox anyway? It had more chakra than all of us combined. Omoi paused in his tracks after saying, you are not kidding, its chakra felt similar to your Yugito-sensei. He was in awe at the strongest-tailed beast and asked, S-sensei, why you don't think that was the Nine Tails? As Yugito entered their hotel room, he said, yes, it was the Nine Tails and it was facing its host. Finally understanding why he was so strong, Karui said, holy shit, is that why he was so strong? No, Matabi said he only used Hao power during the whole fight. Samui said, Then what was with his fox-like eyes? As she laid on her bed. He must have been so angry that he only let the chakra change his eyes. That means he has good control over the Nine Tails chakra to only let it get into his eyes and not his whole body. Yugito was addressing her pupils. Samui, who was examining her sensei with her eyes, calculative blue orbs, asked, "Do you think you can beat him, sensei?" For a minute, she remained silent as she considered the question. Yugito took a seat to rest her feet and thoughts. "I don't know. I would have to see him fight more. All I know about him now is that he is a master with the blade and at least one tail of Nine Tails chakra," she remarked. She looks at the other two students, who flush and turn away, and says, "For now, Samui, we will train you for the finals since only you made it. We will spar and I will use Matabi's chakra so you can know how a Jinchuriki fights." When Samui says, "Got it," Yugito told her students bluntly, "And you two will also get more practice in. You guys were obliterated by your opponents." They both droop their heads and mutter, "Sorry." Compound Uzumaki with a dejected expression. Rukia asked Naruto on his bed, "Papa, are you sure I can't come?" She climbs into Naruto's lap and hugs him while he sits next to her. Naruto wrapped his arms around her and whispered, "Come on now honey, I told you it's dangerous and I don't want anything to happen to you." Rukia made an ice sword and said, "But I am strong. I can even make weapons out of my bloodline now." This makes Naruto smile with pride. Naruto said, "Well, if you are that strong, I suppose I can leave you in charge of the compound while I am away." That boosted her mood. Her eagerness causes her to leap to her feet. "Really, you are going to have me protect everyone?" she exclaims. "Yup, my little captain." The young girl was moved by those comments. Words that meant nothing to her. When she said, a great light burst from her stomach, and the entire room was covered with an odd pressure that made Naruto feel heavy. Rukia Uzumaki vowed to keep his promise. "Me and Soda no Shirayuki, sleeved white snow. Make this promise to you, father." He used his powerful chakra to push it away. Something was on the ground and Rukia was on the ground, panting heavily. Naruto picked up his daughter and placed her on the bed while glancing down at her. With concern, Naruto asked, "Rukia-chan, what did you do?" She gestured to the sword on the floor and said, "IW was that." When Naruto reached for the handle, ice spikes emerged and stabbed his hands. Naruto reflected, "It's similar to the seven swords of the mist. This blade must be exclusive to its owner." He picks it up again, but this time he approaches it differently. The same thing occurs when he reaches for the blade, but instead of letting go, he pumps his chakra into it. "Obey me." The two words were said with such strength and determination that the blade retracted its spikes and hummed, as if it were at ease and not simply subdued. He looked closely at the blade and said, "So if you can overpower it, it will allow you to wield it, but I imagine it will be stronger in the hands for who it was meant for." A typical katana features a rectangular tsuba with curved lines on the short sides and a pattern that resembles a faint flame on the long sides. Its corners are inward curved, and it has curved slits above and below the blade. A handle with tiny threads that is reddish-brown in color. When his daughter rose up and took the sword from her father, he asked, "Rukia-chan, why did this blade come from your stomach?" Rukia rubbed the handle, causing the blade to buzz, and remarked, "It is not some blade. Her name is Soda no Shirayuki." Confused, Naruto said, "She can talk." Rukia glared at her father and continued, "Yes, and she says you should be more careful when you assert yourself on her like you did. She almost became bonded to you." His hands went up and he said, "Sorry, sweetie." He merely grinned at the thought of his little child growing up to be strong. "Holy shit. My daughter just got a talking sword that has her ice powers and an all-new power source." Rukia put her ear to the blade and remarked, "She claims she is a Zanpakuto and will teach me her skills." When Naruto saw her do it, he started to perspire. Kin, wearing a maid outfit and sporting a healthy flush, entered through the open door. She smiled and added, "Naruto-sama, I have packed all of your food for your trip to your homeland." With a wink, the girl blushes and turns to go. "Okay. Thank you, Kin-chan, and by the way, you look absolutely gorgeous in that outfit." Then they depart from his chamber. Rukia went to train and show off her Zanpakuto to everyone. Naruto hasn't seen Karin since he left her here, so he went to see how she was doing. After she returned from her shopping trip with Kin and Tsunami, he could see her hanging things in her wardrobe. Naruto said from her doorway, "Well, take a look at what we have here." He caught the kunai she threw as she jumped and flung it back to her. Smirking at the bashful redhead, the blonde said, "You know it is not nice to throw sharp objects at the person who saved you." She blushed a little and said, "Sorry about that, you just snuck up on me." Much to her displeasure, he responded in a humorous manner, "You know, for a censor you often get snuck up on a lot." With a twitching eyebrow, Karin asked, "What do you want, bro, or are you here to annoy me?" He laughs a little. "A little bit of both. I will be leaving later tonight, so I won't be around until the finals." Karin remarked from her closet, "Oh well, I hope you have a nice trip and be safe." After telling everyone that he was departing tonight, he exited her room. To bid him farewell, the entire Uzumaki family gathered for the remainder of the day to laugh and enjoy themselves. Later that evening, everyone laughed at Ino's overly protective motherly behavior as Naruto sighed and stated, "For the last time, Ino-chan, I have everything." In an attempt to support her partner, Haku replied, "Come on, Ino-chan, I think Naruto-kun can handle himself." "Thank you, Haku-chan." He rewarded her with a kiss, which she found pleasing. Naruto patted his stomach as he said, "Plus I have Kasumi-chan to heal me if things get really bad." She was within the seal for the voyage. Kurenai hugged Naru-kun and kissed him, saying, "Okay Naru-kun, we will miss you." Enko, Ino, and Tsunami then followed. He flashed to the Hokage office, where the elderly man was reading his porn, after saying farewell and giving each other a couple more hugs. "I will be leaving to Uzu now, Gramps." In an attempt to save his dignity in front of Naruto and the hidden Anbu, the elderly guy remarked, "Oh Naruto-kun, good, just be careful and look out for potential threats on your trip." With Yugo observing him from above, Naruto looked up and said, "Oh Kitty-chan, can I get a goodbye hug again?" She walked to him after falling from the ceiling. She said sternly, "Hands to yourself this time." With a sly smile, he embraced her, and she did the same. In her ear, he whispered, rubbing his hands up and down her toned body. Naruto whispered in her ear, "I just can't keep my hands off you. You are just so damn sexy, I have a hard time controlling myself," causing her mask to flush. He smirked when she responded, "Maybe when you get back I can let you feel even more of me?" In the same tone. Her scarlet cheeks and lips were visible as he took off her mask. In the center of the Hokage office, they start to make out as they move their heads closer together. All that can be heard is the sound of their lips as they struggle with their tongues. She moaned into the kiss as he moved his hands onto the bottom of her Anbu trousers and enjoyed the pleasant feel of her firm ass. They end their hot makeout session when they hear 4 thuds in the room and discover that the Hokage and 3 other Anbu had fainted from nosebleeds. "Well, I suppose we gave them something to remember, didn't we?" The Anbu captain gave her a cry of pleasure after slapping her ass. Yugo blushed as she said, "Why yes we did, Naruto-kun," in front of the Hokage and her team. After a final kiss, he leaps out the window, leaving a heated and irritated Anbu captain. "I will see you when I get back and maybe we can do this again." After landing on top of the village gate and using the hand signals for summoning, a massive 6-winged black bird with a black beak and a blue tint emerged from the smoke cloud. The bird bowed its head and said, "Hello Naruto-sama, it's nice to meet you. My name is Arizona, and I am a transportation type Thunderbird." Naruto got on the bird's back and said, "Nice to meet you, buddy. I just want you to take me towards the village of whirlpools." Arizona exclaimed in a wistful voice, "Ah yes, the great village of the Uzumakis." He then flailed his enormous wings and flew into the night sky, oblivious to the navy blue-haired women that followed them. After they have gotten a good distance apart, Naruto begins to talk to the bird, asking him about his species and their typical activities. He learns that they particularly enjoy taking bird baths in hot water, and he also works on his Rasengan training and chakra control. Suddenly, he is bombarded with what appears to be crystal shuriken, a barrel roll from Arizona, and he avoids them all. Naruto stood up on Arizona and shouted, "The fuck, I know crystal shuriken wasn't on the forecast. I saw a woman from below, Naruto-sama." The woman looks up to see red slitted eyes staring at her with such intensity that it makes her a little uneasy because no one looks at her like that. Naruto uses some of Kasumi's chakra in his eyes to improve his vision, which causes his eyes to turn red with slits. The woman tries to reassure herself by saying, "That is actually pretty terrifying, but my lord gave me a mission and told me some of his skills, so I have this in the bag. All right, I'll assault you from above for a while. I'll send you home as well." Naruto rubbed Arizona's head and added, "I'll call someone else so you won't have to come out again." "All right, master. And don't rub my head, I'm not a dog." He uses one of his wings to swat Naruto's hand away. Senbon lighting style, the girl on the ground dodges a shower of blue senbons sparkling with electricity that falls from the sky in great quantities, but she sustains minor cuts that startle her enough to allow more to strike her. Crystal Dome. The senbon bounces off as she yells and is shielded by a pink dome. "Oh, I see. It's bloodline versus bloodline. Naruto uses hand signals and his hands light up, saying, "Well, you won't defeat me." Storm release dancing circuit. Inside the dome, the woman is fighting to keep it upright while under intense fire as laser-like beams shoot and speed towards the dome from his hands, striking it with great force, causing small fractures and chipping the dome. The force stops, and she peeks through one of the holes in the dome and cannot see him in the air. "Where the hell is he?" she asks, gritting her teeth. "Shit, I need to wait for him to stop the firing and then make a quick move to get him down." She hears a flapping sound and sees his cape coming down, and then she hears a sizzling sound and instantly recognizes it. Boom! That was not enough to get her. Naruto emerges from behind a tree wearing only his long-sleeved black shirt, black anbu pants, and sandals. That was not enough to get her. He leaps away from his spot because it was bombarded with crystal weapons. An explosion shakes the area where her dome was. A cloud of dust gathers, obstructing the aftermath of the attack. Naruto addressed the blue-haired woman who was panting and had burns on her face and clothing, saying, "Well, it seems Shining Beauty survived." Shut up, you bastard. Why are you attempting to murder me, and what is your name?" he inquired, but he already knew who had pursued her. Naruto took note of the tentative manner she addressed him as Lord and put it aside for later. "My name is Garin and I was sent by Lord Orochimaru to come kill you." "So you were dispatched by the serpent pedo? I made his snake ass flee in the forest of death, don't you know that?" Naruto crossed his arms as he spoke. She has second thoughts because she realized she wasn't powerful enough to defeat him, and her eyes widened because she wasn't informed of that information. Using hand signals, Garin said, "Liar, I will kill you just like the others I have met." Crystal-style crystal dragon. From behind her, a pink dragon roared and charged toward Naruto, who merely grinned. Raging dragon in the style of a storm. When Naruto yells, a dragon larger than what she made materializes, roaring through the night and charging at the crystal dragon. After some fight, Naruto gives his dragon more chakra, which causes it to overwhelm hers and rush in her direction. Wall of crystals. She swiftly uses hand signals and raises a huge crystal wall to deflect his attack, but the force of the impact hits her wall and she is blown back because her wall was unable to stop the entire strike. As Naruto makes the sign with one hand, his jutsu comes to life. Wind-style wind torpedo. He points it at Garin, who is struck in the stomach by the full force of the jutsu, which then sends her flying through trees. "I have not yet finished with you." The recuperating Garin, unprepared for his next move, is struck by Naruto's water-style explosive water shockwave assault as he goes through additional hand signals. He sees Garin on the ground after the attack, coughing up water and bruised. He rushes her to engage in hand-to-hand combat, hitting her in the face, but instead of flinching, his fist is covered in crystals. His feet follow, and he is then hit in the back with crystal shuriken. He turns his head and sees Garin emerge grinning, but he is still soaked and bleeding. She thrusts a crystal sword into his heart and says, "For what it is worth, I am sorry I didn't want to do this or work for him, but with this stupid curse seal I have no choice." Garin smiles cheerfully at the blonde, who is in agony from the weapons in his back. "You were a strong opponent and the toughest I have fought, but this is goodbye for you." She becomes a little flushed, but Naruto smiled and said, "Don't worry about it, hottie, just survive this next attack and I will help you out." "What attack is killing you?" The trapped Naruto puffed into smoke as Garin spoke, gaining control. She stared in silence until she heard his voice once more. "Storm let Zeus's fury out." The storm clouds part and a man made of lighting can be seen peeking through. He drops his hand and faster than Garin can react, she is struck by a barrage of high-powered blasts of lightning. "Damn, I think that was too much." After saying, "I didn't want to kill her," Naruto proceeded to the burning crater created by his strike. His final attack causes the forest to catch fire, which he quickly extinguishes with water jutsu. "Hey, are you still here? Okay, she is barely alive. She must have been experimented on by Snake Pedo and caused her body to be more enhanced," Naruto said, picking her up and calling forth a Thunderbird, this one forest green with a white head and yellow beak, after he asked the smoking body and felt a weak heartbeat with his fingers on her neck. The six-winged bird said, "Hello Naruto-sama, my name is Lina." Putting Garin on the bird's back, Naruto said, "Hello there, Lina. I need you to bring me and my passenger to Uzu please." He then got on and held her. "All right, should I move at a reasonable pace or as quickly as possible? I'm getting in the air," she added. "I'm going to take a nap, so please keep the pace moderate. Good night, Lina." He stroked her head, put his own head down, and fell asleep without noticing the joyous grin on Lina's face after a head rub. After a while, Gurren begins to wake up from Naruto's beating. She looks around and realizes she is in the air, flying hundreds of feet in the sky, and she nearly faints from what she sees. As she falls back onto her back, she sees Naruto sleeping as if nothing were wrong. She prods him to see if he reacts, saying, "How can he sleep in a situation like this? This is my chance to kill him. However, he allowed me to survive and is even taking me with him wherever he goes." Gurren looks at his sleeping face and notices the marks left by his whiskers. She feels compelled to touch them, and Naruto purrs softly. Kawaii, she had to fight the need to pet his face and glomp him again. Gurren looks at him with a slight flush when Naruto opens one eye, and he smirks and moves her head, saying, "If you take a picture it will last longer." "Why did you allow me to survive?" quietly, Gurren asked. Naruto sat up and replied, "Well, you said you were being forced, so I won't hold this against you. However, I attempted to murder you," she says, glaring at him angrily. With a wave of his hand as if it didn't matter, he said, "So you are not the first and won't be the last. Plus, if you want, I can take off that curse mark for you." With a knowing expression, Naruto inquired. With wide eyes and an incredulous expression on her face, she turned to face him and said, "Why, you are not joking, are you?" With relief from the foolish curse, Gurren asked. "I'm sure I can." He looked at Lina and saw what appeared to be Iwa Ninja, and he pushed his chest out in pride at his family name and height. Why are Iwa Ninja in the realm of fire? The words, "Oh no," are a sign of fear for anybody who hears them. Gurren also glances down and sees what appears to be a little outpost, with several tents containing Iwa and Sound ninjas. What is it? Those are Sound ninja of Orochimaru's village, and it seems as if he was able to convince Onoki to attack the leaf with him. Gurren opened his eyes wide. Naruto said, "I will go down and see what they have in store." He then leapt off his summon, leaving Gurren behind. Floating to the ground, he lands outside the post, lowers his chakra, and conceals his presence to avoid detection. As he enters the area, emerging from the shadows and making silent leaps, he can make out what appears to be the leader's tent. There don't appear to be many people in this place. Looking around at all the tents and people wandering around, Naruto said, "They must have just set this thing up." Iwa had 10 ninja, while Naruto had at least 20. Okay, let's see what we can find. He heads toward the largest tent, where he can hear quiet conversation. Using his chakra in his ears to improve his hearing, he thinks from the outside, "Okay, so we have 5 ninja in here and it sounds like they are talking about plans to knock down our village. The ninja all leave the village and go their separate ways. All right, we'll be here to support the attack in the championship game." It appears like the Iwa ninja chief shakes hands with a Sound ninja. "If only we had our damn Jinchuriki, we could easily crush that pathetic village." He smirks at his line of reasoning, saying, "Wow, so they don't have their Jinchuriki. This is good. If I can find them, then I will be able to recruit them to my plans." He enters the tent through a cut on the back and proceeds to the table, where he sees the plans laid out and how they exactly match what Kin told him about the plan. Well, it seems that Iwa was going to sneak in through the hidden passages. Orochimaru undoubtedly informed them of that. He goes back outside and gathers chakra, alerting everyone to his presence. "I will take these and send them to the old man, but first let's destroy this bitch. Let's light things up a bit." He puts his hand in the air, and thunder ensues, followed by the roar of a beast. Karin, a dragon made of red lightning, forms because he used some of Kasumi chakra for this attack. Wind tornado. A huge tornado forms from the sky and moves toward the ground, moving too fast for Naruto and too slow for the Iwa and Sound ninjas. Go now. The explosion that follows can be felt for miles, and Gurren and Lina watch in disbelief as he waves his palm down and a crimson flash occurs, striking everyone with a flying tornado and a red dragon. She can't believe he was preventing them from fighting with this type of strength. What the hell, he just destroyed a whole outpost like it was nothing. Lina says proudly, "That's our summoner for you." Naruto then flies up to them and lands on Lina. "Did you find the show enjoyable?" Smirking at her gob-eyed face. Gurren's only response to what she had just witnessed was, "Wow. I need you to take this to the Hokage," Naruto says, going over hand signals for summoning as a little Thunderbird emerges from the smoke. "Just let me send these documents to the old man and we can get moving to our destination." The bird offers Naruto a salute and takes off after saying, "It is very important." Tower of Hokage. That looks like the bird from Naruto-kun contract. He opens the window and lets the bird in, and it flies to his desk. The bird is seen outside the Hokage's window, tapping on the glass. "How may I help you?" The bird then lowers the scroll off its back and hands it to the Hokage, who reads it and his eyes enlarge at what he sees. I have a message from Naruto-sama and he said it is of great importance. Anbu. He leaves to get ready, saying, I will send a copy of this to Jiraiya as well. Go get all the members of the Shinobi Council and tell them it is an emergency meeting. Naruto Gurren could not help but stare at Naruto's blonde hair blowing in the wind with his sparkling blue eyes that could show a gentle breeze and then a storm like no other, and her cheeks turning red after staring too long. Naruto and Gurren were now flying over the seas with Lina as their means of transportation, and the sight was like a painting coming to life with the way it seemed they were flying over the rising sun. Lina draws Naruto's attention by saying, Naruto-sama, we are coming up on the island now. They close in and see that the place is in ruins, with buildings destroyed, ninja weapons and headbands everywhere, and skeletons of dead people, including children, lying at his feet. Naruto can only imagine Rukia and Inari lying at his feet during the impending invasion. Never, he says under his breath, drawing Gurren's attention. Kasumi inside the seal can feel his anger and is worried because his anger is turning into hate for those who destroyed his home. Okay, thank you Lina, you can dispel when we land. Naruto says, rubbing her head once more, making her smile. You need to relax, Naruto-kun. Inside the seal, Kasumi shouts at him. Never. I will never allow this to occur. The entire island starts to tremble from all the power Naruto is releasing as he explodes with power, and a tremendous amount of killing intent floods the island, causing Kasumi to shiver and Gurren to fall to her knees. He floats into the air while surrounded by lightning, and the ocean waves turn violent and start to move towards the shore. From inside his head, Dark Naruto says, yes, that's the way to do it. From inside the seal he was drawn inside, Naruto thinks to himself, all I feel is pain, all I feel is rage. Avoid fighting it, but also avoid letting it control you. You must endure this suffering in order to develop. When speaking of her, Dark Naruto uses an unexpectedly affectionate tone. To not let anyone else feel such pain, especially our little girl. Naruto smiles at his significant other and says, so in all that hate you can feel love as well. Keep it a secret. Come on, let's be one. Dark Naruto pulls Naruto into an embrace, which he reciprocates. He hugged his darker half again and said, your secret is safe with me. Gurren is seen on the ground outside the seal, gazing up at Naruto, who is still in the sky, letting off a tremendous amount of strength. As she tries to stand up but cannot, she asks herself, what is going on with him? After witnessing Dark Naruto emerge, Kasumi is eager to see what will happen. Although no one could see it, another redhead was also concerned. She says, oh son, I hope you overcome this, and then she's gone. After then, Naruto releases the embrace and loses sight of his dark side. Kasumi merely smiles and rushes to embrace him, saying, so I guess it worked out in the end. Oh, I knew you could do it, Naruto-kun. Naruto catches her in the embrace and asks, was there ever anything to worry about? Now you can train in using all of my chakra. Okay, but first I need to stop doing what I am doing outside or I will drown the island and kill Gurren. Yay, she passed out. Right now and the waves are getting really close. Following Kasumi, Naruto adds, well come on, we have training to do. He then vanishes from the seal. Naruto and Kasumi float back down to the ground outside the seal. Naruto looks at everything and says, wow, it looks like I was really mad. I'll take care of this before I go. Naruto tells himself. Kasumi points to the fallen woman and says, I found the crystal girl. Naruto picks her up and leaves, saying, okay, let's get her and find a place to rest for the month and get to training. After a while, they locate a spot to relax inside the Azukage Tower. Seated with his legs crossed, Naruto is seen concentrating on managing his chakra. She smirked as she stated, okay, Naruto-kun, you are doing great, but now comes the hard part. We need to fight for my power. The only reason Naruto smiled was because he sensed this kind of event would occur. Naruto grinned at the red-haired fox and said, have I not already tamed you, Kasumi-chan? In order to conceal the enormous flush on her face, Kasumi covered it with her tails. Going into the seal to prepare for the impending battle, Kasumi spoke the words, shut up, idiot, just focus on taking my chakra. The seal also included Naruto. They were already prepared for battle in a clearing. Towering over the smiling blonde, Kasumi transformed into her nine tails form. Naruto grinned as he said, I really need something for fighting bigger opponents. He had just had a brilliant idea. Three-headed storm released beneath the smiling blonde, a gigantic three-headed dragon appeared. It had a water-based body covered in a thick covering of wind and light. Wind, water. and lighting were the elements associated with each head. The big dragon roared, lifting the trees and blowing enormous winds. Well, what do you think of this? I shall name you Arashi. The dragon was the same size as Kasumi, and she thought, wow, he just pulled that out of his ass. Well, come on, let's dance, Naruto exclaimed, smirking maniacally above Arashi. They leap at one another. The three heads are forming an attack, while Kasumi is holding a miniature beast bomb in her mouth. They launch the assault in each other's direction, creating a shockwave that drives them apart, destroying anything within the attack's path. After launching some of her tails around the beast's body to secure it, Kasumi swings her claws to remove its head. When Naruto saw this, he blasted her eye with water. It won't be that easy. Water-style severing wave. She yells in agony as a powerful jet of condensed water emerges from his mouth and chops off her tail. Naruto hears Kasumi shout, "You are lucky those grow back. I am sorry I can't hear you over this ass whooping you are getting right now." She receives a checkmark. She then creates a tailed beast bomb and says, "So you want to play like that?" Barrage of tailed beast bombs. She launches a barrage of blasts at Naruto. Shit, we got to move. Arashi lifts its enormous wings into the air, giving her a blast of its own. Naruto then creates 100 shadow clones and instructs them to use hand signals. Okay, let's send some heavy fire. With their hands raised to the heavens, they all yell, Karin, and 100 flaming dragons emerge from the sky. To protect herself from the overwhelming assault, Kasumi encircles herself with her tails. The sound of the jutsu she was praying he wouldn't use interrupts her thoughts once more. Holy shit, he is going all out, I just hope he doesn't. With his palms stretched to the heavens, Naruto says calmly, "Gather Junduan." In the air, a huge storm cloud emerges and starts to revolve. Flashing lights in the cloud emit sounds that reverberate throughout the Mindscape. Karin, who was outside, questions Naruto's actions after sensing the strength emanating from his body. Fall. Naruto says, and then Kasumi is struck by a blinding flash that descends from the clouds. Fall. Fall. He sees Kasumi lying out in her fox form with smoke emanating from her body as the final chant is performed, and the entire place is once more destroyed, leaving them to float in a white emptiness. I win. He puts his hand on her tail and starts to remove the hate emanating from her chakra. Naruto turns around and hears the angelic voice behind him say, "Well, it seems you didn't need my help after all." His eyes widen at what he sees. A woman with royal purple eyes that radiate the warmth that only a mother could provide, and the brightest red hair he has ever seen. Naruto asked, forgetting the chakra he was consuming, Mom. She opened her arms for him and said, "Yes honey, it's me. Now give your mother a hug." His devoted mother, who is crying a little because she can finally hug her kid, immediately throws herself into his arms. Naruto put his head on her shoulder and remarked, "Mom, I've wanted to meet you for so long now." They move aside to give each other a better look and say, "Me too, son." Naruto hugged his mother once again and kissed her face, making her blush and laugh. "Mom, you are so beautiful." Kushina said to her son, who was only giving her a kind smile, "Thank you son." Naruto pictured a bench for them to sit on and remarked, "How are you here anyways, Mom? Wait, did Dad seal some of your chakra inside the seal to speak to me?" Kushina took satisfaction in her son's strength and remarked, "Right on the money. During our final moment he did just that. I was supposed to help you control Kasumi's chakra, but it seems you already had that under control." That was all he could chuckle about. He gave her a knowing glance and continued, "Yay, but if you were in here, did you see everything I have done?" For a moment, Kushina stared back at him, perplexed, before realizing what he meant. Her hair went crimson, and so did her face. Kushina turned away from her kid and remarked, Sochi, I did see everything but I tried not to watch." Naruto began to chuckle, "Mom, you are a pervert," before his mother struck him over the head. "Don't laugh at your mother, young man," yelled Kushina, his cheeks flushed. All Naruto did was grasp her cheeks and tug. "When your face turns red, Mom, you look like a tomato. Avoid cocking me that." Even though he was running for his life, Naruto couldn't help but chuckle as she chased after him with a frying pan and her hair split into 9 tails. Kushina was also grinning at her son. With anime tears streaming down his face, Naruto thinks to himself, "Dad, you lucky bastard, Mom is so hot." He knows that this will calm her down, so he says, "You know Mom, you are pretty hot when you look like that." She blushed and halted in her tracks. She turned around to cover her blush and whispered, "En Naruto-kun, don't say such things." Naruto came up behind her and pulled her to his chest, saying, "But I can't help it, just look at you." The mother blushed as she felt her son's well-muscled body pressing against her back and something big protruding from her back door. In an attempt to combat the thoughts that were suddenly entering her mind, Kushina stated, "Son, I am married and I love your father. I also adore my dad." Naruto put his hands on his mother's butt, pinching it, and said, "Come on, just one round." He blew in her ear. "Just think of this as a birthday gift, plus he doesn't have to know about this. Just this time, fine." She turns to face her red-cheeked kid and whispers, "Don't tell anyone either." Naruto only needed to hear that before he visualized a bed and relished his new gift. After an hour now, the mother and son are lying on the bed, holding each other, savoring the glow from their recent activity. With his mother on his chest, Naruto laughed and said, "Well, I guess dreams do come true after all. Before I forget, let me teach you how to free the chakra chains of the Uzumaki. Make sure you keep this dream to yourself, mister." Kushina tried to give him a serious gaze, but her blush prevented it from working. She then creates a scroll and hands it to Naruto, saying, "Keep it safe for me, will you? It is primarily observed in the clan's female members, but I think you can succeed, Naruto-kun." Naruto hugged his mother and whispered, "I will." Kushina began to fade away, and both of them understood what it meant. His mother's sad expression let him know what was about to happen. "Don't worry, son. Your father and I will be watching over you." Kushina gave him a motherly kiss on the forehead and added, "Just remember that I love you and give me more grandchildren along with the cutie Rukia-chan." He lay in bed for a time, thinking, "I love you too, Mom," until someone else climbed into his bed. Pulling Naruto into her chest, Kasumi said, "Come on Naruto-kun, we have training to do." "Alright, Kasumi-chan. I apologize for kicking your ass." He grinned as he spoke, which caused Kasumi to bite him in the ear. "Don't go getting a big head. At this moment, I can't help it." Naruto grinned and stated, "I just defeated the Biju Queen and fulfilled a dream of mine." "You are so weird. But that's why you love me." He kisses his vixen before saying this. The blushing fox said, "Let's just go, idiot," and left the Mindscape. He concludes by transforming into a golden blur and says, "Now let's test out this new chakra mode, shall we?" After a month, the stadium was a hive of laughter and cheers as the women of the red light district wore shirts featuring Naruto's smirking face, and bets were being placed at the entrance. It was the day of the Chunin exams finals, and this excitement was palpable. Tsunami and Haku are seen preparing the three children for departure at the Uzumaki compound. Renmara was dressed in a Hyuga-style kimono. Rukia was wearing a black and white shiakusho, which is similar to the one her father wears around the house but is black instead of red. She had her zanpakuto on her waist, ready to be drawn at any time, and Inari was wearing a white shirt with the Uzumaki swirl on the back and blue jeans. Haku was wearing her Mist Hunter nin gear, but the mask now had an Uzumaki swirl on it instead of the mini waves. Tsunami was also wearing a simple navy blue t-shirt that accentuated the beauty of her hair, a black long skirt that ended above her ankles, and black slip-ons. Karin said as she left her room, "Okay, everyone ready to see our clan head kick ass." However, the local mother Tsunami whacked her over the head. Tsunami gave the redhead with the glasses a motherly stare that said, "Don't disobey. Language, young lady." Karin lowered her head and said, "Yes ma'am." The children and even Haku laughed as she said this. "All right, let's begin." Tsunami chirped as she walked to the entrance, followed by everyone else. The mothers from the red light said they saved us a section. Trying to develop a monotone voice for combat, Rukia said, "I will protect us with all my strength." "You don't have to act like a warrior around your family, Rukia-chan." Tsunami pulled Rukia into an embrace, making the girl grin, saying, "There's no need to always keep that straight face. I understand, but in order to be totally unreadable in combat, I need to practice." Rukia grabbed Haku's hand and walked outdoors, saying, "That's what big sis Haku said I must do. For the day, we'll serve as your bodyguards." Everyone laughs when Rukia makes a faux bow and says, "Lady Uzumaki." Then, without spotting the ninjas on high alert, prepared for the impending conflict, the family heads to the stadium, passing all of the crowded streets crowded with people who came to attend the new talent show. Stadium arena, the faces of all the young genin lined up, ready to fight, were confident. Others were nervous, and one looked as though he would rather be somewhere else. As she stood behind her companion, Tenten remarked, "Ino-chan, have you seen Naruto ni-san?" At her friend's question, Ino puts on a smile and responds, "No, I haven't seen Master since he left after giving me a scroll for training. I am sure he will show up, she says. They both giggle as they realize he will probably make a spectacular entrance that will astound the entire audience. Genma, the new proctor, chewed a senbon in his mouth and said, "Okay, everyone except Neji Hyuga and Naruto Uzumaki, please go wait in the stands." The Hokage booth Raikage entered with his two bodyguards, Yugito and Darui, and said, "Hello Hokage Dono." When Hiruzen stood up and shook his hand, he remarked, "Hello Raikage Dono, I hope your trip was easy enough for you." "Easy enough, this place has a really nice breeze." Hiruzen laughed with the man and remarked, "Yes, we get that from a lot of travelers." As the Kazekage approached with his two bodyguards, he said, "Hello Raikage Dono and Hokage Dono." Jiraiya gave the leader of Sand and the Anbu bear one more look. The Raikage said excitedly, "I am ready for the matches to come to Hokage Dono." "Yes, so am I, and it seems like they will start soon." The floor of an arena. Neji replied arrogantly, he didn't show because he already knew his fate. Genma gave him a disinterested look. "Please, Naruto Uzumaki, move to the floor." Everyone stops what they're doing when they see the clouds start to gather and the sound of thunder can be heard along with the familiar flashes of lighting. And they all start cheering because they all know who is going to make his entrance. They all cheer when they hear his name called. The boss summon of the Thunderbird contract is seen descending through the clouds with one Naruto Uzumaki on its back, and everyone can see the shadow of something flying in the sky. Heiro nods at him and winks. "Thank you Heiro, make sure to have everyone ready for what is soon to come." She then puffs away, leaving Naruto hovering in midair with the smirk that gave all his allies confidence while making the hidden opponents a little uneasy. It was as if he was smiling right at them, as if he knew what was going to happen. "Knock em dead and we will be ready." "Sama Naruto, you are loved." The shout came from the women of the Red Light District, who had all benefited from Naruto's assistance when he was younger by improving the buildings in which they worked and taking them shopping. Naruto puts his palm over his ear and smirks at them all. "I can't hear you." "You are loved by us." With smiles on their cheeks, they yell once more. The audience chants his name, making Naruto smile at receiving the adoration he has always desired. "Can you see this, Mom and Dad? I have gained their respect and now they are chanting my name." Naruto looks up at the sky and swears he sees his parents grinning down at him. "I love you as well," he says, giving them all a charming smile that makes them all have hearts in their eyes. Naruto gestures to the throng that is unable to stop him as he flies down to Neji, who is frowning, and says, "You hear em?" Taking his clan's stand, Neji said, "It doesn't matter, you are destined to lose." When Naruto's body moves to the Hokage booth, he says, "Give me a second before we start." "Hey old man, I want to tell you something." Naruto then whispers into the elderly man's ear, causing his eyes to widen. "How did you do, Naruto? Are you certain you want that?" Hiruzen remarks, looking astonished. When Naruto drops a three-pronged kunai in a way that is visible to everyone in the booth, he merely smirks and does something that nearly gave him a heart attack. "Oops, silly me, I dropped my kunai," Naruto says, scooping up the weapon, leaving everyone in the booth stunned and unable to speak. Naruto returned to the arena and stood straight up, staring at Neji, saying, "Okay, I am ready to kick your ass." "Are you going to adopt a position?" Neji inquired. "Just start working on it now. I'm going to brag a little, you know, my family is watching." "Start. Begin." Neji only had to hear this to launch an offensive and attack. Neji launches a flurry of light fists, but none of them land on his opponent. If I can keep him on the defensive, he won't be able to use that amazing strength. Even if he does, the gods are shining on me today. Naruto is smirking while dodging all of Neji's blows, which infuriates many of his adversaries who think he is simply brushing them off. In order to kick Neji in the back, Naruto swiftly moves behind him and sidesteps a palm to the gut. Because of his vision, Neji is able to see this and quickly turns to block Naruto's assault. After catching the kick, he attacks Naruto's face. In response, Naruto pulls his leg in his direction, dragging Neji, who was unprepared for this, straight to his face, where the force of the impact causes his lip to burst. First blood. Naruto continues to sneer at Neji, who returns the scowl. "That was just a lucky hit, don't get cocky." Neji runs back towards him, his eyes activating once more. Naruto charges as well, and the two engage in a prolonged close-quarters battle. This included Naruto deflecting all of Neji's blows and using his own damaging techniques to strike the attractive boy. Naruto lowers himself to the ground, then launches himself into the air with an uppercut and bodyhook. Naruto then does one of his preferred maneuvers. Dynamic entry. Neji gets kicked, and the force of the flying kick causes some bones to break. Stands Rock Lee exclaims, "That's the way Naruto-kun," from the stands beside Sensei and his partner. "That's right, show him your flames," the powerful man and his impersonator yelled. Tenten trembled as she recalled her sparring bouts with Naruto, all of which ended with Haku treating her. "Man, he is really beating him at his own game. I shouldn't be surprised those fists of his hurt like hell." Karin pushed up her spectacles and remarked, "Wow, bro is really good. He isn't even using chakra in his attacks, he is just naturally that fast and strong." "That's my dad for you," Inari exclaimed as she got to her feet, encouraging Naruto. "Yes, as to be expected of Master Kin, dressed similarly to Rukia, said from their side. Gurren said, "You have no idea. She was wearing a maid suit and had crimson cheeks from all the attention she was getting." Rukia said as she prepared her blade, "Who are you?" "I am Naruto's NU's slave." She sat down, blushing. Tsunami said, raising a delicate eyebrow, "Since when? He didn't tell us we would get another helper." "During the 1 month I was sent to kill him, but he beat me and freed me from my previous master who was no good," Gurren stated. Rolling her eyes, Karin added, "Let me guess, Snake Pedo." "Yes." Tsunami smiled and said, "Well, we are glad you have a better life now." The floor of an arena. Neji gets back up on his feet by lifting himself off the ground while supporting his ribs. Naruto comes in on him, and Neji hesitates for a while, a little afraid that he won't be able to defeat his opponent. Damn, that hurt just as much as Lee, but he used no chakra. That brief moment of doubt was sufficient for Naruto to kick him aside and body flicker behind him in his blind spot. Neji is stopped when he comes into contact with a Naruto clone's fist. The real Naruto gives him a body shot when the clone hits him back. The next thing everyone witnesses is a group of clones throwing a barrage of punches at the Hyuga's genius, beating his ass. He is knocked into one of the trees by one of their final punches. Naruto crossed his arms and stared blankly at Neji, asking, "Is that all?" The struggling Hyuga, who is stumbling to his feet with a broken lip, blood streaming from his face, and damaged ribs, is not responding. Using hand signals, Naruto says, "You are all bloody. Let me wipe it off for you." Water-style drilling water spears. Neji's eyes widen as spears of water suddenly materialize out of thin air and rush him before he assumes a posture. Rotation. Neji then smirks at Naruto as she spins around, avoiding all of the water assaults. With a smug grin, Neji says, "Now you have seen it, the ultimate defense of the Hyuga." Such unearned arrogance. I have already spotted a weakness. The Hyuga section was indignant at the commoner's boldness in claiming to have identified a weakness. Naruto makes a single-hand gesture and says, "Allow me to show you and your clan the error of their ways." A monstrous bird appears behind Naruto and screams as it charges Neji, delivering a water-style water Thunderbird blast. Neji then began to spin once more, saying, "Have you not learned?" Rotation. He successfully blocked the strike, but it took a lot of chakra and effort to do so. He was struck by Naruto's fist as soon as he stopped spinning. Then Naruto wipes the non-existent dust from his blue Tobirama-style armor and says, "Weakness spotted, you are wide open when you stop spinning." Naruto approaches Neji, who has managed to stand again. Neji then assumes the 64 palm posture and uses chakra in his feet to charge at Naruto with a startling amount of speed for someone so injured. "Why you are in my R range?" Then, using the last palm, he strikes every chakra point in Naruto, sending him flying. Neji turned his back and started to leave, saying, 64 palms is the ultimate move of the Hyuga. Proctor, you can call the match, he won't be getting up." When they sense the surge of energy emanating from Naruto, everyone stops. Most seasoned ninja are aware of the crimson coating that surrounds him, but they are taken aback because they are unable to experience the usual feelings of rage and hatred that are triggered by it. Naruto walked out of the dust cloud, the red chakra returning to his body, and remarked, "Nice attack, but it won't work against someone like me." As he concluded, he said, "Now allow me to showcase on you real quick." From behind Neji, golden chakra chains sprung from the earth, snagging his limbs and immobilizing him. All of the Leaf Ninja's eyes widened when Naruto's hand made a whirling sound. Naruto then rushes towards Neji and jams the Rasengan into his stomach, ripping his garments and seriously harming his already injured body. "I don't show mercy." Naruto whispered to Genma, who had long since dropped his senbon, "What do you think? Did I show off enough to make them think twice?" "No, I think if you had released some more of the Nine Tails chakra maybe they would have second thoughts. Unless you have something else, I think you need more to show them we mean business." Genma replied in a whisper. To make an announcement, the Hokage got up and moved to the edge of the Hokage booth. Everyone turned to face the Hokage when he said, "Everyone, I have a secret to reveal to you. One that will bring us all joy and hope for the future." Everyone was taken aback when he said, "Our late fourth Hokage Minato Namikaze had a child before he died." A few ninja who were staring at the smirking blonde started to comprehend what he was about to tell. Everybody fell motionless for a while before the stadium burst into applause and chanting in his honor. Naruto Uzumaki. His real name is Naruto Uzumaki Namikaze, son of the fourth Hokage and Kushina Uzumaki. We heard. Naruto displays his might by throwing a three-pronged kunai and making a hand signal. Multi-kunai jutsu. To everyone's surprise, the single kunai transforms into dozens before beginning to vanish in a blue flash throughout the stadium. Naruto smirked and said, "That should do it." He approached Baki, who was trembling and perspiring since he realized the plan had failed after what he had just witnessed. In addition, the now-named Namikaze was approaching him while leaking ki. The surrounding hidden sand ninja become nervous as Naruto grabs him by the collar. Naruto looked at him with those icy blue eyes and said, "Call of all your ninja, that is not your leader you are following, it is Orochimaru." Baki tried to conceal his nervousness and defend his boss by saying, "Where is the proof?" When Naruto catches him by the throat and his eyes light up with rage and hate, everything stops. Baki is aware that everyone is dead if they move. Naruto stated calmly, his eyes unforgiving, "It doesn't matter if I have any or not. You will stand down and there are no questions asked. Do you understand?" Baki delivered the order for all of the sand ninja to stand down after saying, "Why yes sir." All of the ninja in the vicinity exhaled in relief as Naruto continued, "You will help defend the leaf like true allies," and then flashed away. The cage booth, the cage said calmly outside, "Well, it seems you were holding out on all of us." The fact that Gurren had not killed him and was simply sitting in the stands as if he didn't exist made him furious within. I got up from his chair and exclaimed, "That damn yellow flash and Kushina had a son," I said, glancing at the blonde bully and sand ninjas, "and he contains the 9 tails. This brat is trouble all in one. Maybe we should make an alliance after this." "Yes, he has become an excellent ninja," Hiruzen said, seeing Naruto as his clan embraced him. The floor of an arena. "Can Sasuke, Uchiha and Gaara come down to the floor please?" Gaara simply waited for Sasuke to show up after appearing in a sand body flicker. As time passed, he never appeared, causing the crowd to jeer. The Hokage nods his head as Genma turns to face him. Genma received further jeers for not witnessing a fight after declaring, due to the Uchiha not showing up on time for his match he is disqualified. "Hokage Dono, you can't really do that to the last Uchiha. Most people came here to see him fight," the snake that was hidden said. Orochimaru became enraged when the elderly Hokage smirked and asked, "Why are you so worried about him? He isn't one of your ninja." He is interrupted as the Hokage speaks again, "But the royals have come for him and," he says, "they don't care anymore. They want to see the legacy of the yellow flash." I spoke forward and said, "He is right. Orochimaru is so angry that he is prepared to begin the plan at this very moment." Sending the covert agent the signal. Most people are knocked unconscious as feathers start to fall, but the ninjas get out because they know what's coming. Naruto pulled out his sword and blocked attacks on his family, saying, "Looks like the snake has uncoiled." Naruto took command and cut down any sound ninja that approached too closely, saying, "Haku-chan, Kin-chan, I want you to escort and protect our family and bring them to the compound where they will be safe." Rukia whispered anxiously, "Papa, what about you? What will you do?" Naruto grinned and offered her a comforting grin. Then he kisses her on the head and says, "Don't worry my little snow princess, I will be fine. Just make sure to protect your family and stay safe." He creates 200 shadow clones, and they all disperse around the hamlet with the knowledge of their tasks. "Now get going." Flashing away, he uses hand signals to attract people to the village gates. A group of Thunderbirds and a plume of smoke are seen flying, prepared for combat. They all agree and take off to combat the snakes that are emerging outdoors. You know the plan. Attack the snakes along with Sound, and Iwa Ninja. After that, he leaps off the roof and begins fighting the Sound Ninja in the village's streets. The Sound Ninjas are being attacked by the Sand Ninjas back in the arena. In battle with Baki, a Sound Ninja said, "What are you doing? This is not the plan." Baki creates a wind sword and cuts him in half, saying, "Plans change." Knowing the truth, Genma smirked and said, "Glad to see you came around." Baki yelled, "Shut up," and joined Genma in combat. Orochimaru attacks the Hokage in the cage booth and leaps to the roof, leaving the elderly man and himself alone. Looks like the snake sheds his skin finally. With rage, Orochimaru questioned, "You knew the whole time?" Hiruzen said, removing his robes to reveal his staff and war gear, "Yes we did, and your plan is going to get you killed." He charged his old sensei and replied, "So it seems you want to die like a cage. Well, I will grant you that wish. In your dreams, boy." They strike each other in the midst. The streets the family is being led by Haku and Kin to the secure compound. Gurren defeats everybody who approaches, and Karin uses her senses to avoid being caught. Haku threw ice senbon at the enemy ninja and said, "Okay, we are almost there." They reach the gate, enter, and close the area off. "Okay, I will go back outside and help heal anyone who was injured." Gurren, "Kin, you two stay and keep the place safe, not like anyone can get in anyways." Haku replied as he returned outside. Tsunami sat down and said, "All right, let's just relax and try to ignore this." When they feel the ground tremble and hear a roar, they are all startled. A shackled Roshi who is fighting but has seals on his body is being pulled by Iwa ninjas outside the village's gates. Roshi cried out from within the cage, "No, I don't want to." After saying, "Shut up and do your job," an Iwa nin brought forth the four tails by activating a seal. Roshi lets out a final yell that transforms into a beast's, and everyone is taken aback when he unleashes a great deal of power. The four-tailed ape is then located directly outside the village. Unable to speak, Naruto asked, "What? How did they?" Naruto murmured, "I have to stop him." He was about to move, but he stopped when a teenager with pale eyes and white hair blocked his path. The pale teenager remarked, "You will not advance." Naruto shifted into his swirling posture and stated, "Who are you? I don't have time to fight right now." The youngster made a bone blade emerge from his arm and declared, "I am Kimimaro and I will kill you." He is knocked to the ground when Naruto swiftly emerges behind him and rams a Rasengan into his back. Naruto prepares to flee once more, but is halted when he must avoid a bone projectile. "You are still up after that." Kimimaro charged Naruto once more, saying, "It will take more than one attack to put me down." Naruto is shocked that the bone sword can withstand several hits from his sword as they battle with their two blades. After quickly slashing down Kimimaro's torso, Naruto then slices down his lower legs, causing him to fall to the ground and severing his back. Naruto is about to depart once more when a bone pops out of the ground, saying, "Just lay down and die." Kimimaro starts using the first level of the curse mark, and his power increases. "I said you won't advance." Larch dance. Bones then emerge from his body, and he spins around to assault Naruto with all of his bones. "So you wish to dance, do you?" Naruto asked with a sly smile as he prepared his next move. First dance rebirth. Naruto slashes his palm, causing blood to trickle down the blade. He then uses 9 quick attacks with 9 duplicates of himself, all of which vanish as he is done. Kimimaro takes a lot of damage and bleeds a lot after avoiding some but not all of it. There, Naruto leaps onto the roof. Water-style explosive water shockwave. Then, water floods the entire street, engulfing Kimimaro in the deluge. The lighting beast then transforms into a wolf and charges the flood, startling Kimimaro as it does so. Lighting-style lighting beast running jutsu. Naruto immediately leaps onto Kimimaro and says, "He is a tough guy, let me just make sure he is out." Massive Rasengan. Naruto strikes him squarely in the face before sprinting at the raging Biju and causes extensive damage as he makes his way to the leaf, leaving Kimimaro trembling and covered in blood. When Naruto notices the barrier surrounding the Hokage booth, he stops his journey to the gate. He flashes to his position and says, "Gramps," showing up beside the Anbu. He exclaims, "What are you doing just sitting around?" to the onlookers. The Anbu captain bowed to Naruto and said, "We can't get in, so we are going to wait for it to drop." He becomes even angrier as a result. "How do you know you can't go in?" With a scorching look that made all the Anbu nervous tingle, Naruto asked. Pointing to the dead, the Anbu captain wearing a lizard mask said, "Well, when our teammate touched it he burned. Then create a whole new entrance. Take this bitch down." Naruto was going to demolish the roof when he noticed something or someone, so he approached the red head with the barrier and gave her a quick glance. "Shithead, what do you want? Are you to Yuya?" Naruto asked, examining the girl intently. "And who the hell is asking?" She scowled as she spoke. Naruto used his chakra to create seals in midair and said, "You know me. Your friend Kin asked me to save you, so that's what I will do." After he finished, the barrier surrounding her vanished. How on earth did you pull that fuck face? Tayuya drew her weapon and asked. With a serious tone that made his eyes red with slits, Naruto replied, "Do not mock me." He grabbed her and added, "I will send you to my house, don't cause any problems or I will have to kill you." When Naruto sees his favorite Hokage ready to have a kunai thrust into his head, he puts a hand on her head and flashes her away, saying, "OOKS shithead. No, this is my chance, but I have to deal with that damn Biju." He creates a clone, gives it a lot of chakra, and flashes to the location of the Four Tails because he has a lot to do in a short amount of time. As he flashes in front of the elderly man, he rushes to Orochimaru and removes the kunai from his grasp, preventing him from controlling the second. "Why are you here, damn you boy?" Orochimaru uttered those words, his eyes blazing with rage. Naruto turns to face the second Hokage, who is examining him closely, and says, "I came to meet my idol, duh." Well, at least some of the younger generation is aware of whom to support. Tobirama smirked and crossed his arms as he remarked, "Nice armor, by the way, but you are missing the fur coat on the collar." Naruto smirked back at the second, saying, "I usually have a fox wrapped around my neck, so that's why I don't have the fur on my collar." "I can feel your power, you are an Uzumaki, aren't you?" Naruto bowed and stated, "Naruto Uzumaki Namikaze at your service." "Is it the fox you say is around your neck? You also hold the 9 tails?" Tobirama asked, his face knowing. With tiny stars in his eyes, Naruto exclaimed, "Damn, you are so cool. But seriously, I assume you want to be Hokage since you are following in my footsteps, do you not?" "No, I am not Hokage material." "What's the reason behind that?" Tobirama inquired with interest. "I can't prioritize my family over the village. All I have are them." Tobirama smiled as she said, "I couldn't imagine doing something that would put them in danger if it meant the village would survive." Sounded like a real Uzumaki. Through hand signals, Tobirama said, "Never use a jutsu that I created on me or my village. It's okay, not everyone can bear that kind of burden." Tobirama smiled at the blonde, but his smile vanished when he turned to face Orochimaru and saw the condition of the village. Reanimation jutsu release. In this way, he was released from the snake's grasp. "You finish with this garbage and you Naruto, Saru. I'll fight you, my brother." He smirked at the final line, which made Naruto smirk as well. "Go kick some ass." "Sir, yes sir." He vanished in a flash of blue. Tobirama expressed genuine admiration, saying, "Wow, he even knows how to do my jutsu but better." Beside his sensei, Sarutobi said, "Thank you sensei, now I can focus all of my attention on my foolish student." As he saw the kid's interaction with the previous Hokage, Raikage stood aside, amazed that the child had just ordered the Anbu around and conversed with the Hokage as if it were a normal day. "How do we proceed, Lord Raikage? Should we simply flee or assist them?" In contrast to his usual drowsy tone of voice, Darui questioned in a serious tone. As he defeated the Iwa ninjas, he gave Yugito and her group the command to assist in escorting the villagers to safety, saying, "We shall help, I can smell an alliance coming." There was chaos on the village walls, with birds attacking the snake summons and striking the ninjas with their broad range of strikes. In addition, there was a golden blur that was destroying sounds and Iwa ninjas everywhere. Wind cutting, he cut a group of Iwa ninja in two with a single, swift swipe of his sword. Ibiki shouted from a rooftop, "Naruto, I think we cleared everyone on this side of the wall." The golden kid nodded, and he was a clone of Naruto utilizing the KCM mode that he had gotten from Kasumi. This was Ibiki's first time using it in combat, and he had admit that he liked what he was seeing. The clone dissolved the memories and handed them to Naruto, who was spotted approaching the Four Tails. "Okay, I'll let the boss know." "All right, the north, west, and east gates are open." He creates a clone, and it enters KCM and runs away. "Now to deal with this guy." Naruto stops on a tree and witnesses the Four Tails roar, causing the entire village to pause and gaze at the enormous monkey. Some of the Leaf Ninja start to lose hope, thinking that no one in the Leaf was strong enough to defeat a Biju, much less the Four Tails. That is, until everyone feels the sudden spike of chakra and a golden beam shoots into the sky. Tobirama grinned and remarked, "Damn Saru, that Uzumaki sure is impressive. What is he doing? It seems as if he mastered the 9 tails chakra and is about to fight the 4 tails by himself. He's simply a brat, therefore that's not conceivable." Orochimaru promised to kill the young brat and use his body for research because he was so angry that he had damaged everything. "You stupid kid, you have no idea what real power is." "Let us watch," Tobirama said, hurling some ki at the Sannin, causing him to tumble to the ground. It doesn't matter how old you are. Instead of being orange as they recalled, the fox was now golden and had what appeared to be black lines running down its body. In the vicinity of the four tails, everyone can see the 9 tails emerge in all their splendor. In order to allow the transformation to be completed, Naruto paused his speech and said, "The 9 Biju, like everything else, mean nothing before the power of Naruto Uzumaki." Naruto's calm confidence scared the enemy, and they all unconsciously retreated until the first Iwa ninja fled, followed by the others. Go back, monster, demon." When they were fleeing, they said these things. Inside Kasumi's brain, Naruto said, "Idle threats as you run away make you seem petty." He grinned as Kasumi's comments replayed in his mind. "You know, Naruto-kun, I forgot how fun it was being so arrogant." Naruto said gravely, "Yes, this is a lot of fun, but we have to beat your brother. What can you tell me about him?" "He utilizes lava and leaps around a lot, so try to stay away from that, but because you're in here, it won't really hurt you." Shooting a tailed beast bomb in his face while holding him down should do the trick. He was merely a stupid monkey all the time. All right, that last bit sounded pretty racist, but for the time being, we'll overlook it. Let's get him out of the area because this battle will seriously harm it. Naruto ordered the 9 tails avatar to approach the ape and seize him, saying, "Perhaps I could hit some of the ones running away." The 9 tails avatar then began to sprint towards the place where he threw the beast. He grabbed the 4 tails with some of Kasumi's tails, spun around, and swung him to the fleeing foes, causing a huge earthquake to rock the ground and demolish some of the forest. As it formed lava balls in its mouth to shoot towards Naruto, the furious monkey stood up and pounded its chest. It was wise to avoid the lava balls because they melted the ground completely and caused a fire to spread. That was a close one. The 4 tails then leapt towards Naruto, who clashed with the giant ape and sent a shockwave. Naruto created clones and they leapt outside his blue armor, which was now golden, with his black undershirt, which now had golden lines running down to his feet, and 9 Magatama designs on the collar of his chest. It struggles to break free as they make the Uzumaki chakra chains and around its limbs. "All right, boss, we got him. Use your magic." Naruto then begins to form a tailed beast bomb in his hands which forms on the outside ready to hit the 4 tails. Tailed beast bomb. When Kasumi and Naruto yelled, the blast struck the 4 tails, causing them to launch off into the distance before exploding and being visible all the way back in the leaf. After removing the seal off the unconscious man, the avatar of the 9 tails starts to dash towards the fallen Roshi and says, "Okay, let's go check on him." Before he can return, 50 Iwa ninjas surround him. "Return the weapon." With a tentative stride forward, the captain appears to have remarked. Naruto, who was on the ground rather than in the 9 tails avatar because that had taken a lot of energy out of him, said succinctly, "Make me. Get rid of the namikaze garbage." After going via hand signals, they all start launching their jutsu at Naruto, who was just standing motionless and giving them all a disinterested expression. The attacks clash with his position, creating a cloud of dust that blocks everyone's view. The mountain gods wind a bright golden head that resembles the head of the 9 tails knocks them all down and blows the trees away, striking some of the ninja in the process. "Are you done yet?" Even though he doesn't appear to be hurt, the simple question sent shivers down everyone's spines because Naruto was trying to hide how exhausted he was. He knew that before he could rest, he had to defeat these guys. "Come on, Kasumi, I need you to help me with this one," Naruto said, holding out his hands. He let the assault fly in a wide spread, hitting everyone in his area and killing the remaining 27 Iwa ninja. "Don't worry, Naruto-kun, I got your back," she said, giving him more chakra and stabilizing the tailed beast bomb. "Thanks again. This time, I'm just going to flash away." He vanished in a blue flash, oblivious to an Iwa ninja who was staring at him from a distance, his eyes wide with fear. The Iwa ninja ran back to his house to explain what had transpired, saying, "OOM my G god." He is surrounded by leaf ninjas with their swords drawn when he comes at the front of the gate, and they all pause when they recognize him. "Uzumaki-sama, we are glad you are safe." One of the ninjas arrived to assist him. "Thank you, yes. Don't worry about him getting up, he is the Jinchuriki of the 4 tails." Naruto hands the heavy man over to a leaf Anbu and adds, "I have a seal on him to keep him unconscious." The Anbu team vanishes in a body flicker, leaving Naruto and the haphazard leaf ninja to stand around. "Okay, we will take him to T&I. Get your ass moving. Why are you standing around for people?" Naruto uses his large head jutsu to yell. "Yeah, sir." They all flee while stumbling over one another's feet. This makes Naruto and Kasumi giggle. All right, where's the snake? Let's go help him out. Naruto calls one of the Thunderbirds down, and they pick him up and carry him to the battle. He looks around and sees him fighting a gigantic toad with a pervertee sage on top of the toad using jutsu at the snake. Roof of a cage booth. Come on, Bunta, give me some oil. Jiraiya is riding Gamabunta and launching jutsu in the direction of the snake summoner's purple manda monster. You succeeded. He shoots a jet of oil in the direction of the snake, while Jiraiya shoots a stream of fire. Bombs made of toad oil. The cage booth collapses in on itself due to a tremendous explosion caused by the strike. Jiraiya inquired, searching for him, did we get him? The two were about to stab the toad when an attack came from behind them. Naruto, who is dropping from his bird and pointing his sword directly at the enormous snake, hacked off the toad's tail. Brat, I'll kill you for that. Mandu opened his mouth to devour the smirking lad who was falling. Sage, pervy. Fire at me. The area around Naruto turns into a tornado until Jiraiya shoots a stream of fire at him, turning it into a blazing tornado. Naruto then performs 3 hand signs and spins, including the wind-style twister. Manda screams in agony as the attack burns his mouth and slightly scorches Orochimaru. Damn, I had to get out. Orochimaru then performs hand signals for reverse summoning. Everyone retreat. To his ninja, the snake Sannin says. You won't get away unscathed. Naruto enters KCM once more and applies a seal known as the Uzumaki Chakra Destruction Seal. The seal eliminates all of the chakra points on Orochimaru's arms, preventing him from using his jutsu. Just as he is ready to complete the battle, he must avoid chakra scalpels from the gray-haired spy. Kabuto then buries himself in the earth, narrowly avoiding the kunai that was headed for his head, saying, "You won't kill our lord." Then, facing the entire town, Naruto drives his sword into the earth and exclaims, "Victory!" The next thing everyone knows, the entire village is filled with the praises of its residents and ninjas as he screams, his chakra-enhanced voice resonating across the community. When Hiruzen sees this, he simply smiles at the thought of his community surviving the huge war. Jiraiya collapses to the ground, gasping for air but still grinning, and Tobirama and his liberated brother are grinning proudly at the young blonde and his valor. Despite his claims to the contrary, he is already a Hokage. He's a born leader, Hashirama said, and then he began to fade away. Yes, the will of fire burns bright in him, Tobirama said, glancing at the perspiring blonde who was beginning to stutter. You did good, Naruto. He said it loudly enough for Naruto to hear, and then he and his brother turned to ashes. The previous Hokage's spirit then rose into the sky, grinning, and vanished. You performed incredibly well, Naruto-kun. You can now relax, Kasumi said from within the seal. His final words before passing out were, I better get promoted after this old man. He stood confidently, a sign of optimism for everyone who could see him.
I will continue this story in next part. Till then, we weeb offline.